Hey guys, welcome to my G2 versus Fnatic Grand Finals LEC review. I forgot to do this review because I just got delayed by so much things, but better late than never, and I'm always worth waiting for, even though if I'm late. So yeah, let's get started with the review. This has been an incredibly hyped up matchup, and we actually got to do Listen Loco with both Bwipo and Wonder, so I'll try to give as much inside information and much like sprinkle in those delicious nugget sub knowledge. So let's get started. Let's let the bans go through and then we'll talk about the bans initially. Aatrox, TF, Qiyana, Yasuo, Rakan, all very normal bans and all very expected bans, especially the first two. Yuumi. Alright, let's talk about the bans. Aatrox, something that G2 has just perma-banned throughout, and one thing that Wonder said why they primarily banned Aatrox is because Aatrox limits a lot of picks, and also Bwipo was just really good on Aatrox. TF, one of Nemesis' best champion, and G2 likes to play the map very thinly. They like to play the map in a very spread out manner, so TF actually messes with that a lot. And they've shown weaknesses in terms of keeping track of globals because they like to fight so much. And Rakan, a champion they're not going to be first picking most likely, and it gives Fnatic a chance to take it, and it's one of Hylissang's best champions. Qiyana and Yasuo, these are sniper bans towards G2's I would say best flex picks. Qiyana shared by Jankos and Caps, Yasuo shared by Perks and Caps. So G2 has excellent Gragas players, so Yasuo Gragas really dangerous, Qiyana Gragas also really dangerous. Just these champions give G2 so much tools that Fnatic would rather not, and Yuumi is just a good, nice, solid ban from red side to make sure people can't first pick Yuumi because that champion, OPAF. First pick Pyke, wow. Little unusual, little unexpected. Pyke is usually not a very much first pick champion, but with G2, especially for this finals, I thought maybe they can still run solo lane Pyke. But it ended up being support Pyke anyways. Kali picked up right away for Fnatic, a very solid pick that can go either lane. But Fnatic showed in the first series that Bwipo is not the best Akali in the world, so it's most likely going to mid lane. Also, the Sylas pickup along with Akali, make sure the Akali is protected from the Sylas counter pick, something that Caps likes to run a lot. Gragas, one of the best junglers in the meta if you're able to play Gragas really well, and a Kled blind. Interesting. Ooh, Xayah. I would say Xayah, Kai'Sa are the best two AD carries in the meta right now, so I'd imagine that Fnatic's gonna start banning out the support, or Fnatic's gonna ban out Kai'Sa and maybe even the Lucian here. Kled blind is it's very interesting. They must feel very confident with it paired with the Gragas. Syndra ban instead. That's actually a ban towards Perks, not Caps. I mean, it can be towards Caps, but it's way more likely towards Perks because Syndra versus Akali is a matchup they should be fine into, especially with a jungler like Sylas. Banning out support because they already had the Pyke locked in and they want to protect the Pyke pick much as possible. Yep. Ooh, Ezreal ban instead of Kai'Sa. Pretty interesting. I thought the Kai'Sa ban would be way more likely, but nope, the Ezreal instead. Shen ban, that's also a support ban towards Hylissang. Could be a top ban, because Bwipo can play Shen also, but more likely it's the support ban. Hovering Morg, a possible support pick. Jack's a possible top pick, going with Leona instead. Leona into Pyke, actually really nice. Pyke can struggle versus some of the tankier supports, like Alistar, Leona. And G2 locking in Lucian, LeBlanc. So LeBlanc used to be a very common pick into the Akali, very common pick it's not that great anymore, and I would say there's also a burden of execution. And this is the pre-nerf Akali where she still has the stun. So even though LeBlanc can be very mobile and very slippery, Akali has this combo where you can guarantee landing a E. So you do your R1 first, which is extremely fast, and it also has a mini stun. So you can do R1 stun into E, and it will always land the E, so you have a very good chance to go through your full damage combo even on a slippery target like LeBlanc. And Jackson to Colette to finish it out. I wouldn't say that was like the strongest counter pick, but something that Fnatic must be. It plays a lot into Bwipo's comfort. Bwipo loves these all-in bruisers, and Jax is one of them. Like, he loves the Jax, he loves the Renekton, Aatrox. I would imagine Kled also plays right into what he likes. Alright, let's talk about the draft once we're in game. Let's skip to the end game. Alright, let's talk about both drafts and kind of what their strengths are and what we can expect. G2, one thing very unique about G2's comp is every lane is gankable for Gragas. The Kled very gankable, LeBlanc very gankable, Lucian Pyke very gankable thanks to the Pyke. So the Gragas can go anywhere early game. But I would imagine this comp, their later on kind of weakness that comes out is minus very low wave clear. They actually suck at wave clear. The only champion that can really wave clear for them is Gragas. And the bad thing about having support and jungle as your wave clear champions is these champions want to be in river and they want to use their red trinket and they want to be placing down wards, clearing wards, placing down pink wards, so they don't really want to be stuck mid lane. So this is a comp with very, very low wave clears, and that's going to be something dangerous for them. So something they have to watch out for later down the line. They want to be running 1-3-1 later down the line, but the low wave clear means that they have to be ahead, and tempo is very important for them. Like them being ahead of them in terms of map state, in terms of if they backed or not, in terms of HP, tempo is going to be super important to this comp. But it's going to provide a lot of dynamic early game. I can see Gragas going everywhere, and with a team like G2, expect this comp to snowball or fail, but I don't think they're going to have, they usually don't have problems snowballing. So that's the kind of the uniqueness of this comp. Let's look at Fnatic's comp. Fnatic's comp is actually very good at 1-3-1, also combination of Akali and Jax being incredibly strong split pushers. But Fnatic playstyle has been more so to group up and fight. I see them gather up in mid lane a lot, especially even when they had champions like TF, so we're going to expect more of a team fight style from them. Very similar comp in terms of lanes being gankable, but this comp is a lot stronger 6+. Jax is a lot stronger 6+, his all-in potential grows a lot more then. Akali, her all-in potential grows a lot more 6+. Same for Sylas, same thing for Leona. I would actually imagine calm early game. Let's just wait for 6. There are things they can do early game, definitely, like Sylas Akali is a scary as a duo. Sylas Leona scary as a duo also in terms of ganking. But I would rather wait till 6 and we get all our big tools. Like that's when they get really fucking strong. But their later win condition, I would imagine, comes from 1-3-1 or 1-4. This can be definitely a 1-4 comp if they want it to be, because of Jax just hard split pushing and Akali staying grouped up. But it can be either 1-3-1 or 1-4. Probably going to lean a little bit more towards 1-4 just due to it being Fnatic and they don't like split pushing as much as G2. What are the other uniqueness of this comp? This comp has pretty decent wave clear. Xayah, especially if she goes Essence, her wave clear is really good. Very strong engage because they have the Leona. Also, Broxy can steal Kled ult. It's very similar to G2 in terms of it's not very team fight focused, but it is very skirmish focused, and they have a lot of early game playmaking tools. I love these drafts coming out from the EU. There's a certain burden of execution on both teams. They have to get stuff done early, and they have to make sure they're in a good spot mid game, or they can get outscaled by more, I would say, NA and team fight oriented comps, but they're very much willing to just draft a lot more of these like solo lane oriented, we need to do stuff early game comps. All right, let's go watch the game. It's on 2 speed. Looks like G2 got a ward at enemy blue. Fnatic got a pretty neutral ward at their river. Leona and Sylas both with red trinket early. Right now, both bot lane are trying to hit level 2 as fast as possible. It looks like Perkz and Mickey hit level 2 first. They're going to do something aggressive. There they go, doing something aggressive. Hilisan hit level 2 when Mickey pulled him. So Pyke isn't very slippery until level 3, where he can have all 3 of his spells. So him getting stunned here actually really sucks. Yeah. Actually, they ended up just dying, getting one shot from the stun ignite. Like, Leona damage is just so insane in the earlier parts of the game. Great gank from Jankos. Holy shit, this gank had to be an adaptation. Yeah, this was an adaptation, because normally when a Gragas jungles like this, he wants to recall here and then go topside with Predator. He finished double golems and you can see his HP and mana very low. He normally wants to not be ganking right now. He wants to take the recall, but doing something a little bit risky and going in for the gank, because Reckless already burned Flash, was an easy target for him. Reckless TPing right back in. The power of TP. Jankos just sitting here protecting Perkz' back, making sure they don't interrupt it. Ooh, good return kill there, and going to be able to kill Jankos. A little bit disappointed that Broxah didn't take bigger of an advantage off of this. Well, I mean, we'll talk about all the kills that go down here. Great reply from Reckless, being able to kill Perkz. If he doesn't kill Perkz there, the situation's actually fucked. And if Perkz maintains distance, I actually do think Reckless gets really fucked here. Because if he dies here while using TP, and you can see the wave is pushing in towards G2, he already used TP, and Perkz just backs up, and they trade Gragas for Reckless, then for pretty much like the next 3 minutes, bot side wave is going to be fucked for Reckless, and he's going to be in a really bad spot. Instead, it ends up being 2 for 1, so good for Fnatic. They're going to catch one more, so now it's going to end up being 3 for 2. Both top laners end up burning TP. This TP is really bad for Wunder. You can see this bunched up wave about to hit Wunder's turret. Wunder's missing everything, while Bwipo isn't missing very much. One thing that I was kind of weirded out by is Broxah's pathing. When, I want to go back and check. When Gragas ganked bot side, what did Broxah do? So here, with top lane pushing, right? Broxah's a little bit low, but I think he can still do it. Like, I would rather him go and take these two and then recall. Because the Gragas would have to walk all the way here. Or the Gragas would go here, right? And you have Jax pushing already, so this is so free. And for Sylas to just take the free recall and not punish Gragas for taking this game pass seems a little bit weird to me. Maybe he's way too low, maybe he thinks it's risky, but this side of the jungle is so open to him. And for him to not go for this and punish the Gragas for leaving this side of the jungle open is really weird. Alright, let's skip forward. Because he could definitely do the blue, because he still had his smite up. Oh my god. Leona has 3 kills, so she straight bought her support item. Wonder coming with 2 Dorans. Very strong early game. Jankos and Wonder playing off the wave that's built. You can see Bwipo warding here because he knows a dive is coming. Very hard to dive with Jax. Jax with full HP and with helicopter is nearly impossible to dive. Yeah, that's why even though there's a huge wave and both of them are full HP, they're not doing it. Just Jax with helicopter is impossible to dive. Yes, the official name for the skill is called helicopter. Oh, looks like someone cleared Jankos' race and then left up one. I actually didn't get to catch who cleared it, but sometimes it's a common thing for junglers to do when they invade, leave up one camp so it spawns later, especially in early game, because early game you're trying to mess with other person's pathing much as possible. Setting up for a dive again. Jankos here to protect it, but this time Nemesis came also, and Caps is a little behind, and Caps doesn't have TP. It's a 4v3 situation. So here, even if they don't dive them, if they can deny this wave, if they can deny the XP, this is really big. But for them to deny XP, it's like the range is like here, so they have to push them back all the way, so they have to be situated here and clearing. This is like threatening the dive, but also their big goal that they want to accomplish here is deny the XP, which they don't get done. Leona very tanky because of her item and also because of her W being undiveable. This roam for Nemesis actually kind of fucked him. He's going to miss a huge amount of the wave here. Early game XP denial is really important. Gold is important, but XP is even more. Alright, let's start speeding it up again. Game normalized a lot though, even with the crazy early bot lane play. You can see Hylissang swap back to Yellow Trinket. I'll try to explain the Trinket trick. So all trinkets share the same internal cooldown, but Yellow Trinket has a much longer cooldown than a Red Trinket, right? So a fully ready Red Trinket will swap into a fully ready Yellow Trinket. So what you do is you ward, and while it's on cooldown, you swap to a Red Trinket, so your cooldown becomes shorter. And once the Red Trinket is fully ready, you swap back to a Yellow Trinket, and then you'll have a ward that's ready. So you can use Yellow Trinket wards on Red Trinket cooldown if you're basing often and you're consistently swapping out your support, or consistently swapping out your trinket. It's normally done more often on junglers than actual support champions, because support champions usually get their own warding, right? Because of the support item upgrade, and then so he's probably going to switch to Red Trinket all the way. But before that, you do this a lot. Alright. You can see Mickey clear the ward, providing space for Jankos to come in here. And because the wave is going to be pushing out, Fnatic has no choice but to walk up with the wave. And they can't even ward here, because when they go to ward, when they want to ward this, they're going to be in range for Gragasar right here. So this is actually such an awkward position for Fnatic to be in, because someone has to eventually walk up, and G2 has them in like a checkmate position. The only thing they can really do here is we're smart enough to know that the Gragas is there, so we're just never going to get close to that brush, and we're going to do things aggressively on top side. We 99% sure Gragas is here, so we're going to play like Gragas is actually here. That's the only thing they can do, but people end up checking. And also another big thing that happened that the observer is showing is Kled recalled. He's level 6 and he's running straight bottom to try to for a bottom play. This is a very much both teams reading this game as better bot wins and trying to bust the game open through bottom. Or more so G2 reading it as that, and let's see how Fnatic is going to be reacting. There's the ultimate that we talked about. Great flash from Reckless. Oh, did you guys see this? Look at this right here. This minion blocking the way, right? Look at this minion blocking the way. smite. Yanko smite it to get the minion out of the way, and then hook. Beautiful. That's teamwork right there. Wow, I didn't even notice on my first watch. But yeah, both teams understand like bot lane is extremely important and trying to play towards bot much as possible. I'll explain why better bot wins is like a very big thing right now. Why better bot wins? I mean, first turret and plating means a lot. Everyone knows that. But also, when your bot lane is winning, it gives tempo for your support to move around. So that's a huge thing. Giving tempo for your support to move around. So your support and jungle can start taking control of mid lane. Another thing is, once you're ahead bot lane, even if you don't get turret, something that happens at every 10 minutes, you can swap to top side, get Herald, and get first turret that way, and take control of the game that way. That's why right now the meta is so much about better bot wins. Support freedom, tempo for Herald, mid and jungle control using support. There's just so many things that come with having a lead bot lane and allowing your team to move around faster. Holy shit, that's a World of Warcraft player right there. You can check how this went down. Wonder missed his Q, Wonder 1 level behind. I think this is crazy from Blippo to start hitting turret and use helicopter this early. He used Q also. Did he miss his stun there? But he used Q also, even though he has a ward here, so he doesn't even have an escape. So it looks like he missed a stun also, and then Wonder chasing him down. Conquer is active for both. I think this was a mistake from Wonder. He should have kept this positioning a lot tighter. If he keeps his positioning a lot tighter here to Blippo, and not like this distance creator is so bad for Wonder, because he wants to be autoing from a close distance and cancel out one of his auto with auto shotgun. Like that's the Kled combo where you auto and you cancel the back end of your auto with shotgun. He wants to keep this distance really close so he can be autoing. Yeah, not getting the autos here and then giving Blippo a chance to escape kind of fucks Wonder. If he kept the distance a lot tighter, it would have turned out different. Yeah, you can see him do that right here. The auto shotgun combo. You hit and you go auto shotgun. And then now Blippo has his helicopter back up and can all in and kill him. I think that was definitely a kill opportunity for Wonder. Just had to keep the distance really close. He autos a minion too, did he? I didn't even catch that. Where did he auto the minion? But here, where Blippo all-in'd him at turret, here he has him killed. Here, just keep the distance really tight. He doesn't have to worry about Blippo being able to all-in him here. Just he had to keep the distance really tight. Why? Just stay closer. Also, he can stay above here. He doesn't want to stay below. Because Blippo can't run this way. This path is blocked. So if he stays above, he can keep himself really tight to Blippo. I just don't understand. I Wonder's a way better player than me, but this is a big mistake. He should have kept the distance tighter by being above him. Okay, so Ender says, oops, oh my god, that was the wrong command. He says he autos a minion. Let's see, I didn't even catch that. Wait, did he not auto Q? Oh, and then he autos a minion there. Okay. Did he not auto Q there? It looks like he just did Q and he didn't do auto Q. Oh, he just did Q. He didn't do auto Q. What the hell? Wait a minute. Even I know that. That's a really common mechanic on Kled. Auto, and then you cancel the back part of your auto with Q because it creates distance, and sometimes you can even dodge out melee autos that way. That is definitely a level 59 World of Warcraft player. Oh wow, I didn't even catch this mid lane 2v2. When did this happen? Caps went in for an all-in. Broxa caught up to him. Oh my god, fuck LeBlanc. Fuck this champion. Okay, but he's able to kill him. Let's see how this actually went down. So, Nemesis started with E backwards. Caps got a good trade. Broxa chasing after him, misses R. Mickey got a good pull, but out of dashes and was able to kill him. Now the top gap is gonna start really becoming a problem. Buipo is one of those players, if you give him a kill, because all his champions are all-in champions anyways, if you give that guy a kill, like he'll start putting on so much pressure topside. I'm not sure why, but he was getting doped by Jankos and Wonder. He probably went for a trade on Wonder while Jankos was there and he's getting fucked. There's just so much things going on in the map where we're not getting the full story. Sometimes it's like Observer's being shit, but for this one, it's just there's so many things going on in the map. I don't think Observer could have done a better job. He didn't back after the fight with Wonder, really. That's such a bad mistake because Jax is one of those champions where wave control is so important. You can't be greedy with wave control when you're playing Jax because 1, you don't have a wave clear, and 2, once waves are stuck in a weird position, you don't have any range tools to kind of get the wave back in a correct position. So if you ever have control of the wave as a Jax, you have to take the recall, or you have to fix the wave very slightly and take the recall right away, because you can't be greedy because you have no way to fix the wave. Yeah, he pushed. It seems like he pushed in with the wave all the way and he started the recall, but he should have just recalled right away and not touched the wave after the kill. Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, we're missing so much of the things going on because they're showing replays. Well, even with someone that's like, I'm someone that's like pausing the bot, like, oh my god, no, 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 Fnatic. Oh no, baby, what are you doing? Fnatic. Wait, what's their rationale behind this? What's their rationale behind like trying to hit turret here? Oh, I think this one's really stupid. This is a Lucian with a cleanse and a flash. This is a Lucian with a cleanse and a flash. Cleanse, flash, dash. How do you catch up to that? And also, like, if you're gonna do this dive, if you're doing this dive, you have to do it right now. You have to do it right now. The moment you get on the turret, you have to do it. Because if you do it while you delay the situation, the more people are gonna come and it makes the play, the window, like harder and harder and harder. If you're gonna do it, you have to do it right away. I don't even think it's a good play if they do it right away, but if they delay this play, it becomes harder and harder and harder. Delaying, delaying, delaying. Like, this play has taken such a long time. Even if it was a fine play the moment they were at turret, at this point, it's definitely not a fine play. Like, they just waited so long for that play. How can they think it's like... Well, it's actually, this game was... The first game was actually way more mistake prone than I remember it being. G2 with the advantage they have, going in for jungle control, able to get a kill, able to get mid control. Man, this was such an unexpected thing. Like, Lucian going top here, I guess it's late tempo for Herald, but also for Buipo, this was probably really unexpected. Like, why the hell is Lucian showing up here? But this is like kind of the out of the box plays that makes it really hard to play versus G2. Very like unexpected roam from Perks, giving them a window where they know Buipo is going to be aggressive, Buipo is going to look for all-ins, and them like really reading Buipo well, like, this is a Buipo. Buipo will play aggressive on me, Buipo will all-in me, come up top, let's try to kill him, and actually getting it done. Hillistan with the return play. He's just waited here, and then he's waiting here with the sweeper. Reckless comes in, Nemesis comes in, double TP. Able to catch Perks isolated, kill him. This game just has so much action. And then killing Nemesis on the return here. God, both teams are just so great about playing around pockets of vision where enemy team can't expect it. It's just action after action after action. Some of it is like dumb mistakes, but a lot of it is both teams just looking for great opportunities and actually getting things done. Fnatic able to be up 2 turrets. After all the dust is clear, Fnatic is definitely in the lead. Knight plays taken, 2 turrets. Okay, after this kill, let's get the game in like a kind of a neutral state. Not a neutral state, but in a state where there aren't a lot of action, and let's talk about what both teams need to do next. Alright, this seems like after this vision control thing. Alright, oh my god, there's just constant fighting all the time. Fnatic has dragon control, really hard for G2 to walk in. Yep, nearly impossible for G2 to walk in here. Sideways both pushing in, great job on Observer for pointing that out. Alright, this seems like a pretty good neutral point, let's talk about it. So, who is ahead on G2, who is ahead on Fnatic, and what are the next steps for both teams? So both turrets down, so it creates long lanes, right? Whenever it creates long lanes, one of the biggest things are strong split pushers being very relevant here. G2 has, or not G2, excuse me, Fnatic has a very strong split pusher and Jax that is going to be very relevant. And this like long lane is incredibly good for Jax. Jax loves it when he's able to sit in a lane, build up his passive stacks. His passive stacks is, every time he attacks something, he gets a stack, and it can go all the way up to 8, and it gives him additional attack speed. And he also has a Trinity complete here. So Jax is going to be a very, very big monster, and something that G2 has to be careful about, and something that Fnatic wants to play to a lot. Level 11 Jax with Trinity complete, playing in a long lane, this is going to be one of Fnatic's primary win condition. So what does Fnatic want to do? Well, Jax is very shitty at taking turrets actually, because he needs to dive and kill the enemy player before he can actually start hitting turrets, because he's not able to do range damage, and it's very hard to come out ahead while the turret is up and take advantage trades. So he can do one of two things. He can push in the lane all the way and try to roam mid to get a flank. Another thing that Fnatic can do is, after Jax is pushing in all the way, actually send people like Leona or Akali or Sylas to dive bottom with him, which I like a lot better. Like Sylas, Leona, a lot of dive potential, Akali also, so that's something I would love to see Fnatic do. Keep Jax in a long lane and try to get dives off the priority that he has. But for G2, let's talk about what they can do. They have Gragas extremely ahead here. So they're probably going to want to use the Gragas to try to catch out the Jax or catch out mid side. Leona going to be a very vulnerable champion to Gragas ultimate, like Gragas running up with Predator can very much catch out the Xayah or Leona, and that's probably something they're going to look for along with Kled. It's very hard to catch out the Jax. Like Jax is just such a, how to say, he's such a bullshit champion. That's the only way I can really describe it. His ultimate gives him magic resist and armor, and also his helicopter makes him invulnerable to melee attacks. So whenever you are trying to catch out a Jax, especially if he has his flash up, even as the Gragas, I think it is going to be hard. So I would much rather G2 focus around mid lane and Fnatic try to figure out how they're going to get the side waves really going. But before all that even happens, Herald is up, so both teams are going to want to play towards Herald. So Fnatic probably push out and walk towards Herald, and we're going to expect a big 5v5 at Herald. But after that Herald play happens, let's look for Fnatic playing off their side lane much as possible, and G2 trying to engage on mid lane with either the Gragas or the Kled. Alright, let's go. Oh, it's Fnatic actually engaging on the mid lane. Able to catch Gragas out in a vulnerable spot. Ooh, caught Pyke out also, and Sylas stole Pyke gold to get the additional gold finisher. While that mid lane thing was happening, G2 kept pushing up side lanes. So someone's asking, why isn't Jax picked more often in competitive if his kit is so strong? His early game's actually really weak, and versus ranged champions, Jax can get bullied extremely heavily. I mean, here you can see a Jax like 1v2 because he got the jump on LeBlanc. This game, they picked Jackson to Kled, another full melee champion, and they also kind of fucked up regarding giving Jackson an early game lead and him a free lane. Fnatic taking Herald, like we talked about. Ooh, whoa, what the fuck happened to my screen just now? Ooh, Hylissang went for a nice flashy, ended up just being out of range. Yeah, it looks like both teams actually focusing mid side first, and the side lane advantages that are created from Jax or Kled is actually being turned into mid control. The Kled is definitely coming down mid a lot. Jax hasn't came down once yet, but it's making it very hard for both teams to get mid control. G2 actually has full mid control now. Usage of Kled, you can see all the vision here, it all belongs to G2. Fnatic taking slow recess. Let's see if Fnatic can get control after their recess. Swapping Jax over to the top side because Kled has been pushing top, and that's something that Akali traditionally hasn't dealt with very well, so now they're moving Jax to top. Whipple actually doing Krugs instead of just pushing all the way. A little bit weird for me. Why are you doing Krugs, buddy? Is this the LS Disciple? Freeze the lane play? Nope, just maximizing gold. Looks like he's just pushing again. Yeah, it looks like he was just maximizing gold, not freezing. G2 with all the mid control they have, bashing down mid turret. Nemesis hard to enter because of Wonder here. Hylissang got the engage finally on Mickey, able to land a nice stun. Mickey has to flash out, ult used to disengage, Jax part of the fight. Alright, let's see what happens in the mid stalemate. Fnatic regaining vision control, they took this side, they're placing ward. They probably want to regain here also, clear out this, clear out this. There we go, Fnatic trying to regain control. So Fnatic has control up right side, G2 has control up left. Dragon coming up, this is going to go easily to Fnatic because they have control up this side. Jax actually matching the Kled again. This is the matchup they want, Jax versus Kled. Fnatic using the Herald they have. They're the first ones to take mid turret actually. Very good, opens up the map really nicely for them. Ooh, Hylissang, how are you getting caught out here? What the hell? Why are you there by yourself? What are you doing? I think he tried to prevent Perked from hitting the back of the Herald, and he's just out by himself and ends up getting caught. Ugh. And that's no bueno. Fnatic still able to finish off the dragon. G2 getting mid turret in return. Oh, this is so brutal. This was like badly timed from Jankos. I don't think he needed to use his ult here because how Reckless positions himself. Okay, so this is a wall and this is a wall. So Reckless has to be here. So this hook is undodgeable because he went in this corner. He made that hook undodgeable, so I don't think the Gragas ult was needed. Maybe he Gragas ulted here to push Reckless in, and I'm just being overly hindsight, but Reckless put himself in a position where he had to use the Xayah ult like that. And then he still got pulled, and Yanko was able to land the nice E after. Just two really bad deaths from Fnatic bot lane. What the hell? Why is Perked slow? Oh, he got caught recalling. Whippo with flash Q. Nice. Got the shutdown. Returning on the map fast as possible with TP. Whoa, whoa, whoa! This should never happen. Oh my goodness. Caps. What? What? Jump in melee range to the Leona, get stun bonked, boink. That's a yikes. With perks caught out early and Caps dead here, it's a 2v3 or 3v5, excuse me. This is impossible for G2 to come in on. Oh my god. That was a yikes. Perks greedy back. And then Caps even greedy. Like, what do you get here? I mean, he was trying to land the QR on Reckless, or he RQ'd and probably tried to land the E, but it was just so greedy. Holy shit. Now Jax has Shojin's, a different monster now. I love how G2's dealing with side lanes though. Throughout the whole game, Jax should have been a huge problem for them, like in terms of split pushing side, but G2 dealt with it in a very nice manner by avoiding Jax and opening things up from Pyke and Gragas in mid lane, and also Kled. They dealt with, we can't deal with a Jax in a side lane, so let's force Jax to constantly move mid by putting on as much pressure mid lane as possible. I mean, now they have Baron, and this 1v1's nearly impossible to spot or stop. But very good job from G2, like in the mid game, trying to deal with Jax. Just one too many mistakes. Xayah has 3 items, Jax has 2 items complete. Fnatic feeling like they can't get anything. Everyone group recall. They have 30 seconds left on the Baron. They're not going to be able to do another Baron play. What they can do is get control of the map. Oh, Caps is getting caught out so much here, especially on a LeBlanc. This is a Leona face check. Oh, look at that. It's like 2k, 2300 HP. W also. Oh my god, this is like a 200 armor, 200 MR Leona with 2.3k HP face checking in. You like this. They use so much of their damage on Leona. She's still at 1k. Like, she isn't dying. They just used way too much on Leona, so even when the fight is starting with like someone face checking from Fnatic and that person face tanking damage because it's a Leona face tanking damage, like her eating up like about 4k damage worth of spells and auto attacks makes it so Fnatic wins the fight after. Oh yeah, Aftershock. She's probably all the way up to like 300 armor MR. Yeah, so she probably has effective HP about what, 5k, 6k? And you have to do like 5k, 6k damage just to make sure you kill the Leona, where's the rest of the damage coming from? So they have to ignore the Leona, kill the second person that's coming in, while Leona gets in melee range and gets to stun everyone. There's just no winning situation there. Yeah. So they have to ignore the Leona and kill the second person coming in. That's like their only win condition in a fight when Leona's face checking. Like, I don't mind Caps making these overreach plays and kind of outplays later on in the game where the game is in a situation where they need to outplay to win. But in the early mid game, like Caps trying to go for some of the plays put G2 in a really bad position. Trying to kill the Akali, but good luck trying to kill the Akali. Stopwatch or Zhonya's 3 dashes, able to kill Wonder while they were chasing through. Now Caps out of position. Rest of Fnatic pushing in the lanes. Got mid. Xayah keeping back in for bot side. Yeah, this game's over. We talk about both teams having like unique styles, but I think G2 has definitely sharpened Fnatic. Like G2 has taught Fnatic, if you don't match us in the early game, if you aren't willing to play tempo with us, if you aren't willing to play the map wide with us, if you aren't willing to play our game, we are gonna we're just gonna roll you over. And Fnatic like is that team now. Like they know they have to play versus G2 that way, and it just improved them so much. And I love seeing Fnatic like really step up to the challenge of we can match G2 in the early game, we can match G2 in skirmishes, like we can be as good as G2 like in these parts they're so good at, because like that's the only real way you can beat G2 in a best of 5. And I love seeing them like be able to do this and not be reliant on TF or Aatrox or any of their core picks that they were able to beat G2 with or beat other teams with, but just really match them in the early game strength. Alright, great first game. Let's go to game 2. Alright guys, let's go on to game 2. In the first game, Fnatic matched G2's aggression, and G2 tried everything they can do to come back, but they were a little bit mistake prone, and the game blew wide open from the Baron. It was slowly leaning towards Fnatic's side, and then when those 2 caught out happened, it just, Fnatic took full advantage of it, took Baron, didn't slow down on the snowball, and was able to take the game. Let's see how game 2 goes. Aatrox TF ban, Yuumi Yasuo, looks like the ban's staying almost the same. G2 banned Rakan here last time, let's see if they keep the Rakan ban. Fnatic changed their ban order. It used to be Qiyana Yasuo, now it's Yuumi Yasuo. Keeping the Rakan ban. If Fnatic bans Qiyana here, this is the exact same pick in. This is the exact same ban from game 1. Ooh, leading with Sylas this time. So things that leading with Sylas does. A lot more dangerous to pick the Akali now that they have the Sylas locked in. And also, I don't understand why G2 just doesn't take Akali. I think G2 Akali is amazing. I think G2 being able to take Akali and flex Akali both top and mid, and also put Akali versus some of Bwipo's champion is one of the best things that G2 can do. I'm shocked that they prio Sylas above Akali. Mickey said they are fine with Sylas and Akali and prefer Sylas. Okay. I just personally think Akali being so flexible for G2 is a huge strength that they're underutilizing. Fnatic opting into the Akali versus Sylas matchup. Gragas, this is definitely a takeaway pick also. Jankos' Gragas has been amazing, but so is Brox's Gragas. I think Gragas is the best jungler in the meta right now, if your jungler is good enough. There's a certain bar regarding like the Gragas level of play, and if you can pass that level of play as a Gragas player, I think Gragas as a pick becomes way too good. It has so much damage, it has such a good way of engaging, and its engage is very, very hard to dodge, and the ganks are amazing too. Being able to Predator Gragas walk up to someone and threaten both like the belly engage and also the 3-pointer engage with the ult makes it very difficult to flash, so you have to flash out immediately the moment like he's getting in range with you with Predator. If you wait too much, You can get engaged on by the belly, so it's just such a difficult champion to play against if the Gragas player is good enough. So, and I think both teams have Gragas players that are good enough and that definitely pass the bar of execution for Gragas. So yeah, I think Gragas becomes a heavily contested jungle. Let's see what comes out for Jankos. What's coming? Thresh blind. Wow. Thresh with Kai'Sa. This makes it so this bot lane always has the out in terms of gank. So Thresh has a lot of losing matchups, right? Thresh versus some of the range matchups can be really dangerous. Thresh versus Zyra, a very notoriously hard matchup. But one thing that Thresh does, and when you blind pick Thresh, that makes it really hard, is Thresh always has an out with ganks. Thresh is one of the easiest champions to gank for, and he can make any losing lane a winning lane just with the gank potential. So that's why I always think Thresh blind has potential, long as your support is good enough. So the bad thing is, if you have a losing mid and jungle matchup and you pick Thresh, and then there can be problems. The mid and jungle combination, diving is not something Thresh can protect versus very well. But Thresh can flip losing matchups, so I like this Thresh blind and I like this adaptation. What you got for me, Nemesis? What you got for me, Fnatic? Yeah, the Xayah pick. I think Xayah Kai'Sa are the best ADs in the meta right now, and very important to take one or the other. I really didn't like how G2 didn't take Kai'Sa when Fnatic picked Xayah last time. Let's see what they start banning out. It's kind of complicated to ban out because Sylas can go jungle, but they can expect Sylas to be reasonably mid lane versus Akali. So maybe banning out jungles here, but if they burn out too much jungles, then Sylas can go jungle also. Fnatic banning Jax, trying to open up the top lane blinds. I think who is it? Bwipo is almost guaranteed to go on AD top because of AP jungle, AP mid lane. He has to be Renekton or Kled here. Banning Seju and Skarner. Oh, GP, that's one I didn't think of, but yeah, he has to be an AD top here. I guess they could counter pick support right now and last pick top. Yeah, they should do that actually, because support, they already show support, so counter pick support, last pick top. Unless there's like a top pick they feel like they need to take right away. Counter picking Thresh with Morg. This one I'm not in love with that much. There's always this like mind game that's being played with like Morgana and Thresh, because Thresh can hook either the support or the AD, right? So the Morgana has to kind of guess and like react as Thresh is hitting the hook. And like I feel like Morg is a shitty champion when you don't win lane, and also when you don't have a winning matchup. So where I like Morgana, Draven Morgana into winning matchups. I love that. You can snowball the Draven, giving Draven the shield later on makes him a monster. Morgana Caitlyn, I love that. A lot of winning matchups, able to chain the Morgana bind into a trap, into a kill. Able to get turrets very easily. Outside of Caitlyn Morg and Draven Morg, I really dislike Morg as a champion, because a lot of her strength is in her Q and her E, and you need to win the lane for her to be relevant. When you go into mid game as a Morgana that didn't really win lane, it feels so bad. Name any support champion, they're going to be more relevant than the Morgana in mid game with equal gold. Morgana has to be winning for Morgana to be worth it. And I really don't think like Xayah Morg is like a winning lane versus Thresh Kai'Sa. It's more about like a 55-45 lane, if anything, or a straight 50-50 lane. Kled blind, Jarvan as jungle. Oh, Jarvan Thresh, this is a disgusting combo. And also Jarvan, great into Morgana. You're gonna spell shield. Okay, I'm gonna still be able to gap close. I'm still gonna be able to bash you. And what happens when I fucking Demacia you? Kled blind, let's see what they counter pick with. Yeah, Renekton. Had to be an AD top. This isn't like an Omega counter pick, like Renekton into Kled. It's just a Bwipo pick, and it had to be an AD pick here. I mean, like, what are the mega counter picks into Kled? I mean, in solo queue you can do Fiora. I'm trying to think. Kled doesn't have that terrible of matchups. Yeah, Fiora is like the biggest counter pick. And then you can have like range picks like Ken and Nico. Ken and Nico both took giant hits, and also like Kled later on being able to rush you down. I don't really like any of the picks. I think Kled is actually fine as a blind. Oh, Jax. Jax is the one that we were talking about. Even Jax though, I don't really think is a counter pick. I like a counter pick has to have like a good lane matchup and also a good mid and late game. And picks into Kled either don't have a good lane matchup and not a great mid and late game. All right, let's get into the actual series, and then we'll talk, or actual game, and we'll talk about kind of the win condition for both comps. Alrighty, let's see here. What do we have here for G2? Things that stand out to me a lot. Holy shit, Jarvan has good engage. Holy shit, Kled has good engage. Excellent follow-up from Kai'Sa. Excellent follow-up from Sylas. Thresh is just there, but amazing engage. Their engage is going to be great this game. Whenever they want to take a fight, they'll be able to take a fight. They have very good fight selection. Other things that stand out to me. Jarvan plus Sylas, very good mid jungle 2v2. This is something that G2 almost always has. Excellent mid jungle 2v2. I don't think they ever draft comps with bad mid jungle 2v2. They make sure their mid and jungle 2v2 is strong from the get-go, but this is also something that really stands out to me. Very strong mid and jungle 2v2. 3 TPs. There's gonna be like a lot of G2 comps are very same. Strong early game, strong mid jungle 2v2, and strong mid game with a lot of global potential. It's just it's just good drafts that have very similar win condition. Let's draft a comp where we need to execute and snowball early. Let's execute snowball early. Let's have a mid game where we can play the map in a really wide manner, and let's pressure teams very heavily. It's very much a G2 draft. A lot of things I'm going to expect also. The Jarvan plus Thresh, also an excellent like ganking bot lane. Like it's really difficult to play versus because the Thresh is long range of engaging, being able to lantern the Jarvan in, and then the Jarvan can EQ. They're just a lot of playmaking tools, and it's going to be based on their execution. What about for Fnatic? For Fnatic, things I really don't like. Xayah plus Morgana, this bot lane duo, they either have to be smashing or they're going to get out scaled and out utilitied by the Kai'Sa and Thresh. So this is a part of their draft I really don't like. Akali Gragas, strong mid jungle 2v2. One thing I don't like is the damage mix, both being AP, but this is something post level 6 they can have a lot of one shot potential. So this is actually a plus for them, even with like the bad damage split. And also the Gragas plus Renekton. Kled can be a hard champion to dive, but both Gragas and Renekton are excellent divers, and they have very good wave control and very good diving tools. So this is something I really like from Fnatic. So Fnatic, what do I expect? I expect you guys to play top side of the map. If they can crush either the Sylas or the Kled in the 2v2 fights and really get the snowball going, that opens up a huge win condition for Fnatic. Just keep diving, just keep snowballing on the solo lanes over and over. This Xayah Morgana though, really hard to play for. And also if it's going to be left in a defensive manner, it also gets outscaled. So this is like the part of the draft that feels a little bit sour for me. Kai'Sa scales better than Xayah. I would say both have pretty equal scaling, and it's very comp dependent on who scales better. But the Morgana versus Thresh provides so much more utility than the Morgana. Morgana is a 2-skill champion in pro play, guys. Like her W and ult is nearly worthless. It's the Q and the E where you get the value. What is Bwipo doing? Why did Bwipo take damage and build rage here? It's to fake, he's just faking the leash. He's acting like, look, I leashed top lane. The Gragas started top lane, guys, I leashed. Level 2 gank. I mean, this is like standard, like level 2 gank, you can either go mid or top, or mid or bottom. There was like, here's the thing about like level 2 ganks. When everyone does it, people are super aware of it, and they stop like getting ganked by it. But when people stop doing it for a while, you become vulnerable to it again. And And people have been not doing it for a while because people have been so getting good at avoiding it. So Nemesis didn't expect it and he actually got level 2 ganks. Jesus Christ. Level 2 gank into another level 2 gank with Purple Burn Flash. Oh my god, Jankos is like... It's not like... Jankos isn't good because he knows jungle pathings that other people don't know. Jankos is good because he knows which jungle pathing to do and he reads the map really well. And he figures where he needs to go and makes his jungle gank percentage really high. God damn, like if these level 2 ganks fail in a row, like he's left in a really shitty spot, right? But he burned flash mid, he kept his own flash, got first blood for top lane. Whip was pretty much fucked in lane now. Once Wonder gets this pushed in and backs, like Whip was fucked. I don't watch enough China to claim Jankos the best jungler, but my god, like he is definitely one of the best junglers I watch. He's definitely the best jungler in the West. The pathing on this guy is crazy, and the game sense. It's really hard to place value on game sense, but his game sense is crazy good. He smells out ganks really well. He smells out counter ganks really well. He reads the state of the map really well. Brock was pathing. I don't know what he did. He did like what? Blue into double golems into red buff. I don't know why he did that pathing, but he did that pathing. And he got his red stolen. One thing that Wonder mentioned to me was European junglers are bad other than Jankos and Trick. Whew! Whip was absolutely fucked. Burned TP, gonna get the wave crashed in and also died. Whip was absolutely fucked. One thing that Wonder was telling me in our show was that European junglers are bad other than Trick and Jankos. And Brock says like okay. So, and he said Chinese junglers are crazy good. So I'm pretty sure there's Chinese junglers that can probably match up to Jankos in terms of aggression and level of play, but probably not in terms of game sense. So very excited to see G2 clash with some of the Chinese junglers, and I have a lot of the Chinese junglers in high regard due to what everyone else has been saying. And the finals I watched, Qian was actually excellent as a jungler, so we'll see. Alright. Broxa coming in for a gank. They spotted him though. You can see this. Look right here. Just look this spot on the map. They spotted him with game sense. It's either the jungler or a laner pinging for it, but they're Mia ping. You see all the Mia pings going down there? They know that Broxa crossed over, or they think Broxa is there. Oof, I don't like this positioning. So when you feel like you're in danger, AD can stay up and farm, but support, especially the Thresh, remains back here, so he can throw a lantern. So the AD can reset. Mickey should be way farther back if they feel like the jungler crossed over, but he's walking up here because of the souls. He wants to collect the souls. You don't want those souls, Mickey. You want to stay back. Take the soul. Oh no, the lantern flash. Yeah. If he stayed a little bit farther back, then he wouldn't have need to waste lantern, but he got greedy for the souls. What was that? Yikes, Caps. Wait, why was he up? This was a weird state for Caps. Because Brox is on bot side of the map, he should be hugging left side as much as possible, and he should plan his exit on that side of the map. And also because Broxa was on bot side, he knows he can come back, and Jankos recalled, so he's not going to have jungle pressure for a while. I think, yeah, he should have been hugging this side a lot more, and also getting hit by E here is really dangerous. Oof, that hurts. Everyone on the map for G2 side should think about normalizing and allowing Wonder and Jankos to snowball top side of the map. Buipo's absolutely fucked, and I would love to see them kill Buipo over and over again. Let Wonder hit level 6, and then Wonder can start affecting other sides of the map. This is a let the World of Warcraft player carry game. I mean, mid can't play uber passive. Like, mid still has to be part of the game, and mid still has to make sure they're not giving up all priority or the top snowball thing doesn't work. But there's just, this is not the right time to be taking risk when your top side is so ahead and you can snowball off the top side. Oof. Oh, if he dies here, I really don't like this. Oh my god, thank god he lived. But why isn't G2 playing more towards topside? I feel like Renekton's so diveable in combination with Kled and Jarvan. And also he doesn't have flash. Don't like some of the things that's going on right now for G2. The meta doesn't reward you for playing around top. I want them to kill Renekton one more time, really open up Kled in terms of control, and I want Kled to move around. It's not that I want them to stay top lane and take first turret from top side, it's I want them to open up the Kled, and I want the Kled to start affecting mid lane. I want the Kled to start affecting like this red invade. There's just so much that can be done once the Kled is opened up a little bit more and they like squish Renekton into the ground. I definitely agree the meta rewards you more for playing around bot lane, but I think they can kill Renekton one more time and really open up the Kled to affect rest of the map. And especially when the Kled was 2-0 and Renekton was 0-2 with the flash missing, that was such a big opening for G2 to really abuse the top side. What are they gonna do? Try to gank the Xayah Morg? What are they gonna do? Try to gank the Kali with the dashes and the invis? I mean, I guess they are trying to gank the Xayah Morg right now. Xayah level 6 though, not really happening. You can't kill the Renekton after 6 under turret, so the early lead was enough for making sure Kled is not behind. Wait. They were 2-0 on the Kled, 0-2 on the Renekton, and Renekton didn't have flash, and Kled hit level 6 first before Renekton was level 6. There was definitely one more timing for them to be able to kill the Renekton, open up the Kled, get a turret plating, have the Kled reset after hitting level 6, and start threatening with the ult in mid or bot lane. There was so much opening for that to be done before Renekton hit 6. I agree it's much harder once Renekton's 6, but there was an opening that G2 didn't take advantage of. Fnatic with Gragas hanging behind Xayah Morg. But you guys see what I mean regarding like the Xayah Morg thing? It's just Morg feels so worthless in these like losing situations. Like they're not gonna do much off the bot side. I just don't understand that Morg pick. I guess this is one way to play around top lane. I think there's definitely arguments for there's AD carries better than perks, like Uzi, and dare I mention it, double lift on traditional AD carries, but there's just certain things that perk does as a bot laner that other AD carries don't do. How he affects other parts of the map, his champion pool, like that is so unique to perks, and there's just no bot laners that does it as well as perks. I think that part is unarguable. Perks is different from so many of the bot laners. Also, look at this play from G2. Made that play top side, gonna have pressure on top. Kled immediately TP's bottom to catch the farm. They're so good about playing the map in a wide manner. There's teams that will match G2's early game tempo. There's teams that will match G2's player for player in mechanics. But G2's champion pool, the way G2 drafts, the way G2 play the map in a wide manner, I don't think there's any team that's going to be able to match them at Worlds. G2 has, they took a small amount of lead they had on bot side and the top side lead that was disappearing, able to take Herald, get a kill, able to take Dragon, catch farm bot side also. Oof. Just that last 2 minutes from G2 was so good in terms of how many things they got. Oh, what were you doing there, Mickey? Oh, looks like he got caught out recalling. Herald top side, because they have 3 people bot lane. This is the best way to defend against the dive, by the way, when you're getting dope from both sides. When you're getting dope from both angles, figure out which one's more vulnerable. So either this side or that side is more vulnerable. Right now, it's this side that's more vulnerable, right? Go on the side that's vulnerable, push them out of dive range where they can't dive you anymore, and then you can return to turret. So if you're getting flanked on both sides, you have to figure out immediately, oh, this side's more vulnerable. Go on this side, push them out, and then go back to turret, and this side can't dive anymore. Because when you're doing this, you create the 2v1 situation for the dive, where this side can't be relevant, and once this side exits, you can go back under turret. Really good reply from Wonder. Just going on this side immediately instead of waiting for Gragas and Morgan Zaya to all squish in. And then charging back on the Gragas, going in with the rest of the team, dodging out the ultimate, taking the lantern. Beautiful. This means Herald keeps going top side, and Fnatic's going to lose out so much from bot lane. This is what I mean by G2 playing in the map in a wide manner. They played 1, 2, 3. They played all sides of the map during this play. It's their TP usage, and it's also how they deal with pressure and how they just don't back up all the way. They just play smart enough to neutralize a gank and neutralize an aggressive play and put the pressure right back on. Like, Wonder didn't back up from this turret. Wonder stayed in here. They kept the top push going. They kept the mid push going. Like, even when they got caught out with the thresh, like, they just keep the map in a wide manner. Just pressure from all angles. Very classic G2. Woof! Nice outplay there from Caps. Love the ult steal. Ooh, let's catch that again. Getting ganked. Missed his E, stole the ultimate immediately, threw it. Displaces both members. Gragas can't do damage to him right away. Nemesis gets knocked into turret. Nemesis has to use ult in a defensive manner. Jankos comes in. Great ult, and then able to catch Brox after. Why use the stopwatch there? You're burning time, and I guess you're burning 2 seconds. Not really worth. Caps ignoring that completely, going to push top. Kled pushing bot side while this is going on. Mid side playing defensive, doesn't allow it to open up. Top lane pushing, recall faster on the tempo, and then get back on the map faster. He dodged Gragas with Proto. I might have missed that. I'm not going to go back for it though. Oof. Fast with the recall. So, How would I describe this? Oh man, great catch from G2. I'm trying to describe what G2 does well. Like, give me, okay. So there's something called downtime, right? So when these are like two instances where downtime happens. There's downtime when you don't have worth on your support. That's a downtime for your team. When a carry or anyone on your team has massive amounts of gold to spend, let's say massive amounts of gold is anything above 1k, anything above 1.5k. And there's also downtime when you are low in HP and low in mana. So anytime there is downtime for a team, anytime a team, all 5 members aren't ready to play, or there's like people with like huge like gold or like huge HP chunks that can't be on the map, that's downtime. G2 minimizes their downtime so well. When people need to recall, they do it very quickly. They don't overstay and greed on the map, and they're constantly recalling, and they're trying to make sure everyone is like fully up and running and they can pressure the map. So that's something you can constantly look to that G2 does. Like, they don't get greedy with their recalls, and they're so good about staying on the map and pressuring wide. That's why they're able to like just balloon their gold lead so many times. Oh, Hilo-san got so greedy there. While everyone else was like chunked in. I think he went for like a pocket of vision. Yeah. Ugh, him going in. He needed to exit right away. I don't know what he was trying to do, but he just needed to exit right away. Later. Thousand kills. Kled pushing top, just doing that wide map thread. Oof. Did you happen to see the discussion on freezing between Mickey X on YouTube? The one between Mickey X and LS? Surprisingly, Mickey X agreed they could have used freezing much more often in this theory to accelerate the game. Maybe there were points they could have frozen. But I go over this point all the time. The problem with freezing isn't the fact that freezing is never viable, or freezing isn't the correct thing to do. Freezing is a very unique aspect of the game. A lot of the other parts of the game are very aggressive and very tempo based, and freezing is negative tempo and negative wave control, but it's positive gold, and it puts pressure on the enemy in terms of like they need to make an action if you're strong enough, or if you're going to get to a strong enough point. So one, you need to identify points of freezing, and two, it's very, very important to not make any mistakes while you are freezing. So it's a much more difficult part of the game to implement than aggressive styles. Anyways, let's get back into the game. Catching out Reckles before he's able to ult here, Pert's immediately ulting in. You're gonna see Wonder go in with his ult and Thresh try to follow up. Yep, Wonder going in with his ult gives Thresh a really nice way to follow up. How did Morg end up dying and not the... Oh, Morg got caught in there while that was going on. Yeah, she went to close in the distance to try to use her ult, but when you're a squishy support trying to go in there to close distance, you're going to be a very vulnerable target. This is what I mean though. This is why I hate Morg support so much. Oh my god, Caps! Why? Why? Let him go! Just let him go! Just let him go! I guess rest of G2 cleaned up, but still. It was about sending a message. Well, message was very well sent. This game's mostly over though. Just G2 played early mid game way too well. 6 kills on Kled, 4 kills on Kai'Sa. Those champions are gonna be crazy. Fnatic doesn't have real tools to deal with the Kai'Sa or the Kled that's that fed. When people talk about scaling, it's one of the things that tilts me a lot, people talking about scaling in the current meta, because the games are so heavily decided in like the first 15 to 20 minutes. It doesn't matter who's stronger after like 25 or 30 minutes. I'd rather be stronger in the first 15 to 20 minutes. I don't really care if your comp beats me at 3 or 4 items, because before the 3 or 4 item power spike happens, I'm going to be in such control of the game. I'm going to have Baron, and I'm going to be able to snowball. So even when you're stronger at 3 items, I have 3.5 items or 4 items or map control or so much dragons or Barons or an inhibitor down, it's going to be hard for you to win anyways. I mean, scaling matters if both teams are in an even state when that scaling point comes. But more often than not, both teams are not in that even state. Woof! Great win from G2. Just classic G2, played the map in a wide manner. But I have to criticize Fnatic for that Morgana pick. I hated it. Hated it. Absolutely hated it. Alright. Let's go on to game 3. On to game 3. Let's go. Wow. So G2, oh no. In Europe, it's loser has side choice. So Fnatic just opting into purple every time and G2 opting into blue side every time. Same bans, not the same draft. Same bans, all 3 games from G2. Let's see if Fnatic adapts at all. Nope. Both teams very fine with their bans and keeping their bans exact the same, but might change up the picks. Last time it was first pick Sylas. Let's see if they keep it the same. First pick Sylas kept exactly the same. It was Kai'Sa Akali. No, it was Xayah Akali. So let's see if Fnatic keeps it the same. They're actually not going to pick Kai'Sa here, or they might pick Kai'Sa, but Bwipo's girlfriend plays a lot of Kai'Sa apparently, and Bwipo hovers Kai'Sa all the time. So this Kai'Sa hover is actually a troll. Yep, there's the Akali pick. Akali Gragas. Oh wait, it was Akali Gragas in game 2, not Akali Xayah. They picked Xayah on 3, excuse me. The Gragas was a takeaway. So Akali Gragas keeping the picks exactly the same also. G2, it was Kai'Sa Thresh. Let's see if they take it the same. Oh, changing it up. No longer Kai'Sa Thresh and taking Kled early. They feel like they can blind pick the Kled and it's actually giving them great results. So not so much really feeling the Thresh pick. And also I don't think Fnatic will make the same mistake of picking Morgana into the Thresh. So I like the switch up from G2. Even though they've won, they're switching up the drafts and upping the priority on the Kled and lowering the priority on the Thresh and realizing, hey, Fnatic's not going to be a dummy again and utilize the Morgana. Let's see what you take here, Fnatic. Jax, okay. The matchup from game 1 where Fnatic took a victory, Jax and Gragas, an incredibly strong duo. They should start banning out jungles again. But it's really hard to ban versus Jankos. Elise, Sejuani, Skarner, Jarbin. Elise, Seju, Skarner, Jarbin. What else? I think that's about it, right? And also Silas could go jungle if need be and do a different pick against the Kali. I guess there aren't that many good picks against the Kali. Olaf. Oh yeah, Olaf, Lee Sin. Yeah, just these bans seem so meaningless. Skarner, what are you gonna ban? I love the Xayah ban here. Have the Kai'Sa, ban out the other good AD carry in the meta. This Thresh ban, I don't think the Thresh ban is that relevant, as long as you don't pick Morg. Karma, what? Where would the Karma even go? Oh, Reckless Karma and just play towards top side? I guess that would be a thing. This Xayah Karma ban is both directed at Reckless, actually. No, Reckless opting into Trist instead. It would be... Oof, Pyke. Ooh, Seju, okay. Seju, Kled still strong together. Silas, Seju still strong together. I like. This support pick's actually really important. Thresh gone. They could take Leo again. Trying to think. Nautilus not bad here. Nautilus good into Tristana. Kai'Sa, Nautilus, what did they take? Tristana, Pyke. I would love to see a Nautilus here though. Ooh, Pyke. Braum. Okay. Oh, I would have really liked a little bit more playmaking. Braum here feels a little weird. Braum good versus Gragas, for sure. But this is so teamfight oriented, Braum plus Seju, where I would have liked something more like a Nautilus. Nautilus Kai'Sa, notoriously hard duo to play versus. Shen. Ooh, love the Shen support here. When I like Shen support. Shen support, amazing if you have strong split pushers. Already strong split pushers with Jackson and Kali, so like that a lot better. Ooh, a little bit doubting the Braum pick, but let's see what actually happens in game. If they pick Nautilus, what would a Fnatic taken? Like what, Alistar or Morgana? I still like that a lot better than the Braum support. And support matchup being very important, actually getting pushed all the way until 4 and 5 with bans in Rakan, Yuumi, Thresh. Like both teams very heavily prioritizing the support matchup. Alright, let's get into the game and then let's also talk about the draft. Ooh, G2 predicting an early ward here, or an early invade and waiting. They're showing perks here as like a bait, come kill perks. Let's also talk about the draft a little, where it's G2 strong. As we talked about every single time, strong mid-jungle 2v2. It's actually one of the weaker mid-jungle 2v2s they pick, but Sejuani with a melee champion, especially at level 6, is gonna be dangerous, especially when it's a Silas versus a Kali matchup. So not the strongest jungle mid 2v2 G2 has picked, but still a strong one, especially 6+. Another huge one is the Kled Sejuani. My god, Kled Sejuani is so disgusting, especially when Kled rushes at you with the ult and Sejuani takes that all the way and she closes distance and she can open with ult or Q and it's even hard to flash out from that. So here another 6+, very dangerous duo. Kai'Sa Braum is actually going to be a little bit defensive and not going to be relevant later on until team fights, but very strong in a 1-3-1 situation. Very strong once Kai'Sa Braum gets swapped over to mid lane. So actually a little bit of minus there, but can expect incredibly strong top side for G2. I'm not sure what I can look for them in terms of early game. Sejuani very weak on the first clear. okay after the first clear, strong at level 6. On the other hand, for Fnatic, split push, split push, split push with early game priority. Loving the Jax plus Gragas, very strong 2v2. Shen later on going to help a lot with this. Akali Gragas also a strong one, just have to watch out for the Sylas earlier on, and still can be weak at the level 6. But I think Jax is going to be the star of this draft. Jax in combination of what they do with Shen is going to be a core win condition for Fnatic. Ooh, Fnatic with the late invade. They feel really strongly that they'll win the 4v4 here. But it's versus a Braum. Do you feel that confident about a late invade versus a Braum? Yeah, what the fuck? It's versus a Braum. Whoa, 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 whoa. You really are gonna stay at... Oh my god. Whoa, don't finish the red, just fight! Don't finish the red, just fight! Wait, why was G2 so willing to finish the red? I don't like this turning into a 50-50. Just fight with the Braum passive here. Oof. I would have liked it if they didn't do any damage to the red, just walked into the brush and fought and made sure no one took the red aggro. I mean, luckily Perks got the red. Okay, and then they brought 2 flashes. And yeah, they're going to get the first blood off the Braum. Okay. I think maybe G2 felt confident enough that it doesn't matter who gets the red. We're going to be able to win the fight after, even if Broxa gets it and Broxa hits level 2. Broxa wins the smite fight, gets level 2. G2 still wins the fight there. That's probably G2's read on the situation. Reckless went early to lane. Early level 2, but Perks got red buff, and also first blood on the Sejuani. Early trace didn't go well that for Wonder, TPing right back in. Oof. I feel like early game can't be too wild for G2. At least not until Jankos hits level 6 and the game's a little bit more in control. They have to stabilize. Let's wait till level 6 before things get too crazy. Level 2 on the Seju. Feels bad, man. Did he get some of his camps taken away? Wait, why is he only level 2? Yeah, Broxa didn't do his camps. Oh, he did. Oh, I understood it as Jankos got red. Why is he so far behind? He actually didn't get red. It went to Perks. That's why he's far behind. Okay, so that's the first big major camp he gets the blue buff. Not terrible. He didn't lose blue. He just has to do Crux twice and he's fine. Oh my god, this level 2 gank. Oh no, it wasn't a level 2 gank, it was an XP soak. He's going mid lane to make sure he can get level 3 and then yeah, going towards his other camps. Oh! Playing for the scuttle. This is a good bot lane. They don't have priority, but they're still moving, giving up some of the camps. Now that's a bot lane you want to see. Mid lane moving for Jankos. G2 like working well as a team to make sure Jankos can get back in the game. So Sejuani usually does a full clear and she's able to hit level 6 smoothly, but that's not the situation right now. So she has to utilize lane help a lot And she's also soaking a lot of XP to make sure she can hit level 6. I love how G2 plays when they're behind. That's one of my favorite aspects of G2. They're just not coin flip when they're losing. They actually play incredibly smart when they're behind. I think that's where we see the best G2, when they're in losing situations. Fnatic, on the other hand, wants to really pressure Jankos now that he's behind. But G2 doing just a good job of, hey, come here, soak XP. You're almost at level 3. Come here, you'll get level 3 off of my wave in mid. You're almost at level 4. Come bottom, help us push out, and you'll get level 4 off of this. Just supplementing his XP so he can hit those like leveling breaking points. Soloing Dragon in a sneaky manner. Just this Dragon solo. Dodged out the ward here. Dodged out the ward here. Woof! Level 5 off the Dragon. Just being so creative of where he gets his XP. Oof! Great play from Reckless there. Let's see this in slow-mo. Gets the taunt on the Braum. This taunt, this is a very special way of killing the Braum. And one of the only ways you can do it, if you can get on the Braum before he puts up his shield, as like an All-Star, if you get the WQ on Braum before he gets the shield up, then you have a chance at killing the Braum. Right here, Reckless is level 6 off of him going to the wave early. And they get the taunt on the Braum before he gets the shield up, and then now he got the shield up. The exhaust coming in, it's just a little bit too late on things. Mickey X ends up dying. Reckless jump, flash away. Caps TP'd. Hey Lissan, think about getting out. Think about getting out. Reckless is dead. These fuckers have flash. Why isn't the taunt going this way? I guess he also dies if he goes this way. Actually, no, people don't have gap closers. They use too much to chase. I think he should have ditched Reckless and just thought about getting out. Oh, never mind. He's too smart for me. He was actually playing for his teammates coming in from the left side. That was so dangerous though. He could have easily died, no? Oh, that was so close. If they landed the stun a little bit earlier, just get stunned and hit here. But he made it into a brush, so it's really hard for people to hit him. Oh my god, that's playing on the edge. Oof. Oh, that's playing on right on the edge. Oh my. There are just so many small things that went well here. Wow. I would second guess this decision a lot. Him not going up the wall, but him running towards his teammates. Just barely living. Oh, imagine if he didn't make it into the brush when he got stunned there, he's insta-dead. He burned both flash and taunt. Okay. Jankos hit level 6 really smoothly. For how the early game started, like Jankos hitting level 6 like this is so fucking good. There's the Shen support utilized. Oh, clever remounting. Could this have been done better? Way pushed in. Oh, he backed up way too far, I think. He's calling for Shen support. Calling for Shen support. Oh, this corner is so... Man, that dodge from like that close of a distance. Holy... He can taunt any moment. What a madman. If that taunt hits, then you're dead. And you miss this much wave. Holy shit. That's a 0 ping WoW player. And that's because Wonder plays a mage, he has to master using Blink and Ice Block to cancel out damage spells. I think that's where he gets his flash timing from. Very well utilized WoW playing time. Game's very even. It can break open any moment. Oof. Broxa keeps using... Oh! Does he live here? No way. Okay. Yeah, but Broxa keeps using stopwatch in a really weird way to buy time. Oh, I guess that was actually worth it because he bought time for the Jax to reach around. This is the problem. Once the Jax gets going, later on, Jax plus Shen is always going to be problematic. Fnatic breaking the game apart from the right location. Yep, it's the top. This is where they're gonna break it open, the top side. They know Shen ult constantly gonna come up. One thing I'm surprised that Mickey hasn't done is go through mid and help top. Why is he just... I don't like him going bot side all the time, especially with Shen TP up. If they're both matching bot side and Shen TP is on a top play and Mickey's just sitting bottom and they don't have potential to dive Triss. Yeah, there, he's walking a little bit to mid side. But Jax affecting top lane is something that they're always gonna have to deal with. Taking Herald off the top lane lead. Usually the game is better bot wins, but this game's been so much about top side. I mean, you can take all the dragons you want, but how are you going to deal with the Jax versus Kled later? Fnatic should not be losing this. What are you doing there, Broxa? Back up! There's such a big play made on top side, and your bot lane isn't there with you. I don't like this one. They should have just waited until top a little bit more, or bot to push out. Just a weird timing for them to go in there. Oof. Huge problem. This long lane. This long lane. Jax plus Shen plus Gragas. G2 has to open up the game from bot side, but it's really hard. Kai'Sa Braum can't really kill Trist. And also Seju, even in combination, Trist can back up. So this play will happen before this bot play. So there's a huge problem regarding how are they going to deal with this Jax top. They can't bust it open through mid. they can't bust it open through bottom. So they either have to get a pick on top side or get a pick on mid or bot. Yeah, I think, yeah, Jacks 2-0 with these items, it's going to be really hard for the Clud. Reckless should understand his role is just farm this out. They can't deal with the Jacks here. This long lane Jacks in combination with Shen. Ugh, so dangerous. They win on the bot side too. And then when Jax goes to repressure top, he has the help of Shen. Jax actually putting her pressure back into mid lane. Ugh. Mid lane, yeah, even the mid lane 1v1 between Sylas and Akali, it's on like a nice edge, and then the Shen ult really turns it. Oh, G2 bleeding from everywhere actually. Bleeding from bot, bleeding from mid, bleeding from top. They're going to be in a situation where Fnatic's collapsing on from everywhere. And Jax is just getting stronger and stronger once Jax gets Shojin. They're on a timer because of the Jax. Oh shit, let's re-go over this fight. This is the third Ocean Drake for G2. Unfortunate Drake spawn because that's the thing that's going well for them. They have somewhat bot control. But the 3 dragons that spawn for Ocean Drake. And in like versus a split push comp, like Ocean Drake's kind of shitty. In like full on 5v5 comps, like Ocean Drake can be really good, but I don't like Ocean Drakes in split push comps. G2 starting this, Nemesis starting it up. Caps and Yankos both at half HP situations, Jax TPing in. Shen does not have ult actually. Tristana TPing in. Fight start with Broxah dying. Blitbo on top of Kai'Sa. Blitbo just, like, look at the Jax. Look at this fucking champion. Being focused down, not really killable. Look at this, oh my goodness. Like, this is what happens when Jax is ahead. Jax does dumbass Jax things. Oh my god. Okay, that was actually a real dumbass Jax thing. It ended up working out anyway, but that last jump was a little bit too Hashinshin. Jax now has Shojin's complete. Kill the Kai'Sa. Yeah, dealing with Jackson, that long lane, bot lane. Oh, this lane's even longer because they have tier 2 gone, so he can push this all the way up and then move and buy so much time. On which point of the game are solo laners of Fnatic too strong? When Jax got that double kill from top lane where he killed Kled, yeah, he killed Kled and the Sejuani bought time. Or said he killed Kled and the Gragas bought time and he returned and killed Sejuani. When he picked up the 2 kills there, that's where Jax got way too strong. Because it's always in combination with Shen support, right? So it's always like a player and a half. So when he gets that slight lead, it's not that slight lead, it's that slight lead in combination with the Shen support. That's where it really takes it overboard. Oh, was that taunt flash? Oh, it was taunt flash. Good dodge from Caps, but a little bit ambitious from Hillsong. Whoa, utilize the Jax a little bit more, guys. Why are we all grouped up here? We have a Jax and a Shen support. Why is Fnatic 5-man grouped? Okay. They're 5-man group where I feel like they don't need to be. Push up mid. Vision here. Jax all the way here. Vision here. Threaten this. They have to send 2 people. Take full control of Baron. Jax backs up. Now put them in a situation where it's 4-1. They have to send 2 people again. This time 0 vision on Baron. Jax can just chill until they see 2 people. Start Baron. Jax can threaten the TP. That would be a much better way of playing this. Okay, this opens up the game also. This opens up the game also, but I think there was much more simpler ways of doing it by having Jax on bot side and then threatening the Baron control, but Fnatic was so focused on 5-man grouping. Yeah, I just think they could have utilized Jax plus Shen, but they're more so utilizing Jax grouping up. They're scared of the Kled engage. They don't have to be. They have so much disengage tools. And also they should be the one in control of vision. There we go, Jax split push all the way. All the way. Draw in more people. Vision control on Baron. There it comes. Vision control on Baron. G2 has to show 2 people because of the Jax plus Shen threat. Once G2 shows 2 people, start Baron. Oh, just starting Baron right away. Jax moving before Kled. Sejuani wasted ult. You can go back right back into split push. Sejuani wasted ult. You can go right back into split push. There we go. Go back into the split push. Sejuani no ult. Oh, go back into the split push. Stop going for blue buff Whippo. Go back into the split push. Why? Why'd you go for blue buff? You could have split push, put on pressure earlier. There we go. Go. Yep. You can get off Baron if they don't show 2 people on bot side. If they only show 1 person, Shen ult and kill that 1 person. Get off. Oh my god, Whippo just bought him all the way. Wait. Why is he so afraid? Level 17 Jax with Shen. I think there's definitely a kill potential here with Jax plus Shen on the Kled. I hate how they're not utilizing it. He can dive 2v1. Loco doesn't understand Jax can never kill Kled on their tower, so it's not split push if you can't 1v1. But what if you have a global that allows you to give him the taunt with Shen? What if it's not a 1v1? Sylas has TP. What does the Akali and the Tristana have? Only Sylas has TP, guys. No one else. Only Sylas has TP. If you're going on the target with the TP, what does the Akali and the Tristana have? I just think they should utilize the Jax as the breaking point. They have so much other tools in combination with it. I understand Kled has a potential to outplay, but this was before Kled GA. There was a point where Jax was 16, Kled was 15. There were just so many breaking points for the game and they never really utilized. I guess there somehow Blippo was able to reach Kai'Sa without burning flash, so that's a way that they can make this happen. They got a catch using the Jax, but I just think there was a better way for them to utilize it. How did this happen? Oh my god, he walked up to Jax directly. Maybe he thought he could outplay and create distance, but Whippo just went on him with ult. Shojin Jax going on you is one of the scariest things, because he'll get his helicopter almost instantly back. Well, Fnatic got Baron, now the game's gonna be blown wide open. Try to go on the Akali too slippery. Pressuring all 3 lanes. Sejuani already used ult, Kled ult the last engage tool. Just have to be careful about Kled ult. Kled ult to use bot side, other side can push up now. But all he has to do is live. Ugh, never mind. Okay, now they have to back off the Jax side. Baron gonna run out. Fnatic still has full control. They're about 10k up. Jax and Akali just finished their core items way faster. So did the Tristana. The carries are way too ahead. Oh my god, look at this flank angle. Holy shit. 3, 1, 1. This angle here, this angle here. You could even go straight. This angle here. Jax this angle here. Can block off this exit. Where do you go? Yikes. Oh my god, this is beautiful to watch. Who are you going to go on? Are you going to go on the Jax? Are you going to go on the Akali? If you hesitate, you're going to get engaged from the other side, and either side you go on can get Shen ulted. Either side has defensive tools. You're going to go on the Jax side. Oh. Jax is like, thank you very much. I also have a stopwatch. Nemesis buying time from this angle, and as I talked about, he has... Oh! The Shen ult didn't go through. Okay, wait. Also, how does this even work out? Shen ult... Wait, why didn't he just stay in the cloud? No one can kill him through the cloud, no? Wait, is there anyone that can spot him through the cloud? Oh, he got hit by a Kai'Sa W. Okay. That's a yikes. Okay, still able to kill Wonder and get the taunt. A lot of... Oof. Wow, this fight became way too even. That should have been a smash for Fnatic. Akali getting insta-deleted. Okay, game actually still somewhat open. Oh, never mind. Game closed up. Yep, game closed up again. Elder. Look for the end. Elder into pressure all 3 lanes, get Baron, and then checkmate position. But one thing that's being problematic for Fnatic is they can't get stronger. Everyone's close to 6 items. They can't get stronger, and G2's getting stronger at like an exponential pace. Like going from 5 to 6 is no biggie, but going from 4 to 5 is a biggie. Usually people cap out at 3 or 4 defense or 3 or 4 offensive items, and you're just adding a defensive item at the end, and people are starting to cap out. Like once you get IE, once you get death cap, you don't really get that much stronger. There is like a void staff spike, and usually AD carries don't build last whisper, so there isn't that spike anymore. So people start capping out very quickly, and you add on 1 defensive items like a Zanya, like a QSS. So if the game gets a little bit longer, it might actually reach a state where it's back to 50-50 because Fnatic can't get stronger and G2 is just catching up. This is the double Elder or yeah, this is the Baron buff push. Okay, the game should close out. Oof. There we go. Well, that was actually the same pattern of victory from Fnatic getting the Jax ahead. I really don't like how they're breaking open the game. It is working, but I would much rather see them utilize the Jax plus Shen support more, because that's where the split push is so crazy. Jax, Shen, Jax, or Akali, Shen, these are like crazy split push strengths, and Fnatic isn't utilizing that much, but they are still winning in their own ways. 2-1 up. This is Perk's comfort, actually. He talks about how he loves being down 1-2, so hopefully we see a little bit more action from G2 next game. On to game 4, Fnatic versus G2. This is G2's comfort, down 1-2. Oof. So G2 lost, so they get side choice and they're adapting, and they chose purple this time. Because they've been blue side every single game, but opting into purple. Oh yeah, sorry, I have to move cam. Or red side, sorry. Excuse my boomerness. Back in my day, it was blue and purple. Fnatic also banning Rakan from blue, so they don't think Rakan's worth first picking, but they still think Rakan's dangerous to give into 1 and 2. Keeping the Yasuo Kiana bans, G2 also keeping TF Aatrox bans and banning Yuumi. First pick Akali, reply with Sylas. Sylas Gragas. I think just Gragas is so valuable. Both junglers are so good. Shen support being utilized really well, especially with the split push. Okay, it's actually being utilized, but not well. I think it could be utilized even better and really open up the game through the split pusher instead of grouping up so much. What do you got here? Lee into Gragas, really? That's the best pick you're gonna get? I guess we're gonna need to see some dank early game. It is Broxylison, but we're still gonna need to see some dank early game. while both sides not taking Xayah or Kai'Sa early. Especially for G2, where I think counterpick, I guess they're fully committing that Shen is going to be support and the Thresh is the counterpick. I would have liked Kai'Sa or Xayah here. Is Thresh the best thing they have? Mickey X plays so much things. Do they really need to take the Thresh early? GP ban. Banning Bwipo champions. Then it should be GP Renekton if that's what they're focused on. Kai'Sa Xayah ban here because they're going to try to take it on 4. Ed's ban should be a Xayah ban so they don't get to take Xayah on 4. Kled ban? What the hell? Why? Why? Why ban the Kai'Sa and leave the Xayah open? The Kled ban also is a little bit confusing for me because they've been picking Jack so well into it. Ban Xayah here. They are either forced to pick an AD or a mid. Why? Can take Renekton. Renekton versus Kled isn't the end of the world matchup. I just think Xayah ban here would have been so powerful instead of allowing them to take one of the premier AD carries. Ooh, it's gonna be a Karma bot. Oh, Karma support? Wait. Karma top? So the Kled ban was for a Karma top. Keeping Bwipo off of Renekton. I don't like this Fnatic game plan. I think banning Xayah was crucial, and I really dislike putting Bwipo off of Bruisers. I think they banned Kled because they don't want to blind Jax. Yeah, Jax has been their counterpick into Kled, and they don't get the chance to counterpick. Oh, but blind Karma feels so meh. If anything, blind Renekton. Nah, they're gonna get Irelia into Karma. There's no way that's gonna be Shen top. Yeah. Well, Shen support doesn't get utilized as well when they don't have a split pusher they can play off of. Akali is the only real split pusher. But let's go into the game and let's actually talk about draft as a whole. I really dislike Fnatic draft. Alright, what do they have going for them that's really strong? Lee plus Akali. This is almost as strong as it gets in terms of mid lane 2v2. The only things that are really stronger in the meta without going too crazy, like Pantheon plus something, it would be like Gragas Yasuo, Kiana Gragas. Beyond that, I think Akali Lee are some of the strongest duo lanes, or strongest jungle mid duo you can pick. So things that go well with it. Shen into Akali split push later. Very good. And also Karma plus Trist are very good team fighters. So there are things that's good about the comp. Strong 1-4, strong team fighting. But where this draft is really weak is no tanks. No tanks, and they can't utilize 1-3-1 because Karma isn't a true split pusher. And not the strongest engage either. So no tanks, no engage. So this draft must stay ahead. Akali must stay strong. They must win the jungle mid 2v2. Just put so much pressure to execute on this draft. I don't like this. Yay. Yahi. G2 draft on the other hand. Gragas plus Silas. Pretty decent mid jungle 2v2. Gragas plus Irelia. Really good top 2v2. And also Irelia does really well into range matchups in combination of strong ganks. So this top lane 2v2 is going to be a nightmare for Fnatic. They have to win the mid lane 2v2 and really push the pressure. Bot lane also not that bad. Thresh into a range matchup, or Thresh into a melee matchup, very nice. Thresh can cancel out Tristana too. I just really dislike Fnatic allowing G2 to have the Xayah. They got the counter pick on support they really want. Silas versus Akali. Pretty normal matchup that can be good for Silas, good for Akali. It's on a knife's edge. But I really like the top side draft and the bot side draft for G2. They should just snowball either top or bottom, get into 1-3-1. It's just Fnatic banned Kai'Sa while letting Xayah through. Either don't touch the AD bans or get rid of both top tier AD carries. maybe this was to watch out for the early game ganks. Can potentially start red and go for a level 2 gank. Also, Yanko's doing a little bit of an interesting pass. Usually Predator Gragas is never start blue, but getting a leash from bot side. Bot lane has to give up some of the prior early because of potential Lee level 2 and also Gragas is jungling away. Oof. So they know they have a ward here and Jankos just sneaked in. Perfect. Jankos gets spotted, the ward gets spotted. This was the gank that Doran was talking about on Listen Loco, where Broxah sneaked in here without Jankos really knowing. So Wonder's left in an awkward spot. And why Wonder is like so hell-bent on pushing this in is he doesn't want the wave to get stuck. He wants this to crash into turret. So he's doing everything in his power to push this all the way in. Oof. Now the wave is frozen for him. He has to TP. If he got to crash this all the way in and have the wave bounce back and not ganked, he would have been in such a nice position. Butbo burned all his potions early. Wonder started refillables, so he's in a really good spot. Can just get refillable charges, get Doran, get back into lane, be in a really nice spot. But that gank from Broxah actually really fucks him. Wait, what the fuck? Thresh died. I didn't even notice. How? Wow, Mickey had a really off game. There has to have been a mistake because Thresh can cancel both the Shenton and the Tristana jump. Also, the wave is pushing in. He had no reason to be aggressive there. But porting in mid, helping out Nemesis a bit, and walking back to top side. Ugh, he went for an auto, and Halo-san got the taunt off. Yeah, he didn't get the flay on either the jump or the taunt. Oof. Wow, Fnatic was actually so much control early game. And G2's topside snowball failed. I mean, it's not like it's donezo. Irelia, once she hits 6, she'll have kill potential again, but the early game is definitely not looking good for G2. Losing both the side lanes where I talked about they should have a huge advantage on. Whippo burns flash because he didn't expect Wonder hitting level 6. Here's the 3-man dive. Jankos, all he did was tank and buy space for those 2 to dive. Now Karma has no TP, wave is going to crash in. If no one dies here for G2 and everyone makes it out, beautiful position. Wave crashes, wave's going to bounce out, can do this 3-man dive over and over again and just can do it with 2 people too. Woo! Nice flash from Wonder, everyone gets out. Perfect. Wave is going to bounce back, push towards G2, they should set up for top dive again. G2 understands their win condition very well. It's just boss side is playing a little bit wonky. Broxah soloing Dragon, G2 handing off blue. Come on, I want to see the top dive. Which Korean top laner is the most similar to Wonder? Keen, easily. Ugh, how does this happen? Well, that's the strong mid 2v2 we talked about. Lee versus like Lee Akali being really strong. But it's also the same for the other side. If Gragas Silas gets to jump on Lee, then Lee's gonna die and get one-shotted because both these junglers are also carries on their own. So whoever gets the first jump basically wins, and Brox is able to get the first jump here, and Nemesis is able to close in. Also, why I think Keen is the most closest to Wonder is I think Keen and Wonder both are so flexible. They play everything and they fulfill whatever roles they need to for the team. Both are okay with being the primary carry, and both are okay with being supportive. See how Brox and Nemesis tries to get out. Cap still Akali ult chasing down. Broxa out. Nemesis stuck. Tries to EOA, gets thresh hooked. I think they could have dealt with Thresh a little bit better here. Jump, E, auto. Maybe could have done more autos here. Thresh has no flash. I don't think you need to ult him. Oh my god, it fucks the taunt too. He taunt flash and reckless ulted him. Holy fuck, this synergy. This anti-synergy. Oh my. Well, at least the Karma got some farm top lane. That's 3 deaths here. Oh my god, that breaks the game wide open. Sylas Akali matchup, gonna swing heavily towards Sylas in the mid 2v2. Now that's a nightmare. And also, even the Bwipo got farm. Even the Bwipo got a nice like lead here by staying in lane and getting a turret plating. It's Akali versus Irelia. Like, how much is this lead really going to matter? Yanko's coming into... Oof! Oof! Grag is coming in here with ult. Play it slow. Get that dunk, Areno. Woof! Oh, that Karma pick. Why? What's the Karma pick do? What was the Karma pick for? It doesn't play to Bwipo's strength. It leaves you really vulnerable for a top lane counter pick. It wastes the Shen pick completely. So garbage as a pick. This is Shen actually being utilized, but imagine there's a second lane that can utilize a Shen, and imagine that player is really good on bruisers. Why stick him on Karma and just like stunt your own player? Doing Herald off that mid kill. And you can see how dangerous this lane matchup is. This is the Karma that got to stay in lane. This is the Karma that got to get first blood on Irelia. Irelia did pick up kills in bot side of the map. But still, like, this matchup is so shitty for Karma the more and more it goes. Broxa picked up Herald on Lee. It's going to be important he uses this right away because of the 14-minute thing. And also, Lee Sins hate having Herald because it locks them from being able to ward jump. I think it's the same kind of mistake that they did in the Game 5 draft in the Juggernaut match, where they picked Karma and they never intended it to go top lane, but it got pushed into going top lane. Like where they picked Akali and they never intended it to go top, but it went top lane and they last picked Kassadin. This is what it feels like. I just cannot believe a team as smart and good as Fnatic ever intended it to be Karma top where G2 can have counter pick. So weird. Oh, Nemesis going back in here and just feeding the kill. Why go in? He didn't, it's not even like Mickey X helped with this kill. It was all Caps and he just went in and fed him the kill. He knew he had the second part of ult from Akali too. I guess he felt confident because Bwipo was coming. Oh man, this game breaking apart so quickly for Fnatic. There's the Herald usage. Ugh. Karma dying there, Irelia got free farm, backing for Titanic. Because Karma's a really pokey matchup, and so is Irelia. Karma's a really pokey matchup for Irelia, and so is Akali. Irelia going for Titanic, Hydra instead. I almost never see this. Almost every single Irelia I see is Trinity Rush, so it was very interesting to follow through with Wonder's build. I think he went Hydra into Wit's End. Ravenous. Oh, my bad. Not Titanic. Ravenous. Excuse me. I mean, it makes him a very strong champion in an extended fight, but gives him very little burst. And I guess burst is tank Karma. It's really hard to burst her with Trinity, so you go Ravenous into Wit's End instead. Now Karma has no home. She can't be top lane, so she has to walk around. She has no home. This is a lost Karma. This is an orphan. Top lane is not her home. If she goes top lane, Big Daddy Wonder is going to give her a beating. She has nowhere to go. Don't go top, Karma. There's only pain for you there. Don't go top. There's only pain. Oh, okay. Oh my god, she escaped without taking a beating. But yeah, Karma has no home. I feel like this game's already over. I think this is the kind of game that's over from draft. This is what happens in every single one of the G2 Fnatic series. Fnatic starts out really strong, and when the later draft happens, and G2 is able to pinpoint what they're doing wrong, and pinpoint where Fnatic's getting the edge in draft, and they adapt, Fnatic can't adapt with them, and they go into these really weird drafts. Karma just did not have a position she can be in. She has to group up for team fights. She can't be in a side lane. So who deals with Irelia? Where does a Shen support get utilized? Reckless said this game was free and he should have carried. How? Topside is bleeding so hard they can't win mid jungle 2v2. I mean, yes, the meta is pretty much a lot about better bot wins, but not when your solo lanes are losing this hard. After they got the 2v2 kill and the top kill, yes, there was an opening for Fnatic, but they just kind of let it go with the giant fight here. Oh, actually, what Reckless might mean is when he ulted away the Thresh and fucked up the taunt flash from Shen, maybe that's what he means, but I don't think this game was about bot lane. I think this game was so much about draft. This is what I mean regarding Gragas though. Gragas Predator is in. You have to jump. Tristana has to jump right away because she's afraid of the ER, and she's also afraid of him just closing distance in R or closing distance in E. This is why Gragas is so hard to play versus. Multiple ways of engage and multiple distance of engage makes him such a scary champion running in with Predator. Ooh, is this what Reckless meant? Letting the kill go here. But you can see how Karma can never match Wonder, right? Like, that's a huge problem in the draft. Taunt flash, not giving Wonder space to flash out. Oof! Reckless, he can't kill you! Just kill him! He can't kill you! Oh! And even with plays like this, even if Reckless kills Wonder there, it doesn't change the big problem in the draft, which is no one can match Irelia. Irelia with Ravenous and later on Wit's End is going to be unstoppable. Karma can't match it, even Akali can't match it. So when solo laners can't match it, the Shen support is also useless on top of that. Oof. I love the taunt flash there from Hylissang, not giving him any states. He's showing so much respect to Wonder. I'll play this in 1 speed. He taunt flashes because he feels like Wonder's good enough of a player where if he doesn't taunt flash, Wonder will flash his taunt. That's showing so much respect towards Wonder. Just not taking any kind of risk that what if Wonder will dodge it. Just the Karma pick. Damn, this is a tilter of a game though. This game's very different from the other games. Just so much more mistakes coming out, and also like when Bwipo's playing Karma right here, it's really heavy on the mental because you're left in a situation where you can't side lane and you can't have the same kind of effect on the game as the enemy, and you're relying on your teammates to do things. So you just feel useless and you feel like, oh man, if I had a different pick here, things would be different. I mean, 3-man play to get the Karma killed. Ugh, Nemesis got caught out. Forced to burn TP. Good job on buying the time though. And Triss is also going to be able to get the turret. Not bad, not bad. Fnatic opening, or G2 forcing the situation because Nemesis died while using TP, so he can't come. Also Tristana has to come. And in 9 seconds, Wonder's going to be able to TP. Even if they don't get Baron here, they're going to be able to force a 4v3 fight, which is good enough for them. They don't even have to get Baron here. They can just force the fight. Yep, the fights get forced. Wonder's going to TP in somewhere. Yeah. Yeah. That was a checkmate situation where damned if you don't go because you give up Baron. Damned if you do because you have to walk in there and people are going to die. Yeah. What can Fnatic do here? Not walk in? Well, you give up Baron. Walk in, you're getting forced into a 4v3 situation with teleport coming in. It's just it's a checkmate situation. What are you gonna do? You don't have moves. You have to go in and try to minimize losses. Try to give up Baron and take Inferno and hope for the best. So I'll explain to you why teams don't do that and why teams go for the Baron fight instead. So think of it as if you take the Baron fight, you have, let's say, like 60% chance to win the game. But if you don't take that fight and you let them take Baron and you get Inferno, then later on in the game you have at the Baron fight, let's say you have 40% chance to win the game and win the fight, but after you give up the Baron and you take Inferno and you take the later fight, you have 30% chance to win the game. So it's a higher percent chance to take the fight at Baron and not delay, because after you get Baron, like, teams will clean up really nicely. I think the option would be like, give Baron, if you really don't want to take the fight and you really feel like you're going to get aced if you go there, is give Baron cleanly, take Inferno, and wait in a brush and try to get a pick. I think that's like the only situation. But yeah, like once they give up Baron, like we saw in all these games, once they give up Baron, the game swings massively. Just the game has swung. man. This is just looking at G2 cleaning up. Just the Karma's effectiveness. I know I'm just harping on the draft over and over again, but I kind of have to. Like, in these kind of level of games, like, draft matters so much. Everyone's so close in terms of skill. And Fnatic especially is a team where if they don't get certain picks, I feel like they fall apart. I would say draft is like 60% of the problem here. Play 40, draft 60%. Or even more dramatically, draft 70, play 30%. Oh man, Cap's dead. Ugh. Reckless sitting at his computer looking at damage graph. I don't know what he's looking at, but man, like, oh, Haleson's actually looking at damage graph. I feel like looking at damage graph does nothing for you other than tilt your team. Ugh. Looked at damage graph, looked at the top and the mid lane's damage, and he's like, oh, what the fuck is going on? Is this damage or gold graph? What graph is this? It has to be damage graph, right? Because it... Wait, is it damage graph? Because support is longer than AD carry. Wait, no way this is damage graph. Shen support does not do that much damage. It can't be damage graph, right? It's like vision square or something? He's on top? Oh, he's on top, okay. I don't know. Okay, never mind. Whatever, fuck this. But just looking at graphs after a game just tilts your team. Anyways, let's go to the final game. Editor, cut it here. Snip, snap, snip, snap. Oh my god. I mean, I know for a fact Fnatic fans, whenever they see this VOD review, are going to talk about like, oh, you're so biased against Fnatic. But I also think like, that game was such an int draft. Final game. Who is this guy running away? He's like a G2 member? He's running away from some... Is he a refer?
Welcome back to the epic finale of the LEC Summer Split. Throughout history, champions have been made in the city of Athens, and after this Game 5, a new one will be crowned as G2 and Fnatic hit the rip for the last battle.
Not all titles, not all championships are created equal. G2 have never slayed Fnatic in the final. Fnatic can now toss away all of those people who said G2 were the super team, everyone who ever doubted them, and reclaim their spot at the very top.
And no one else could sum up this moment more than Perks in chat right now, as he says, is hype, innit? I feel like that embodies this series, as both teams right now are playing at their utmost limit. It is so much fun to watch. And it feels like that so much is determined in the early game. How the draft pivots, which players step up. There is so much on the line. First seed at Worlds, LEC Summer Split champion, and to be the best team in Europe.
The stakes now out of the way. It's down to business, boys. And the difference is that G2 back on blue side, Fnatic red side. You heard it from the desk, you're going to hear us echo it here. The counter pick is so important. And Verius, back to your point, specifically so Blitzo can get some teams in some of these matchups. Specifically so Hilly can find one of these playmakers, whereas G2, they have finally cracked the Akali Silas matchup. Caps, finally feeling confident again that they can give this away or take it for themselves.
Is it enough for G2?
All right, let's get started. Stop spamming weird chant. It's not nice. And I'm not weird. I'm perfectly normal. I'm actually hungry. Let me go get some snacks. There's actually such a nice snack that my roommate has that I've been eating a little bit of. It's called brownie filled pretzels. It's like pretzels with brownies in it. It tastes so good. It's like salty and sweet. I buy her food all the time and I'm watching her cat, okay? And she eats my food all the time too. I love salty and sweet things. Why is my face shiny? I have Vaseline because my lips have been really dry. Also, let me get water and let's finish the final game. Oh, also, I've been starving myself today because at 5 o'clock, I'm going to go meet up with a friend and we're going to go have Red Lobster and Endless Shrimp. So, if I'm going to take full advantage of Endless Shrimp, then I need to make sure I starve before Endless Shrimp. You feel me? Very important. What do you mean false? I'm 100% correct. I'm gonna fucking make my money back from those endless shrimps at Red Lobster. What do you think about the perks? 1, 2, 3, 5. So I eat a little bit more. Okay. Who's paying? Red Lobster is going to be paying. I'm going to make them regret having endless shrimp. I will personally put them out of business. Alright, let's start. It's probably... Okay. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. All I said was I'm gonna start before Red Lobster and you guys just flame me for not doing it the right way. Alright. Let's go. 3 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3. Game 5. Editor definitely not put that in. Alright guys, game 5. This is what it comes down to. G2 versus Fnatic. One game to take it all. Aatrox, TF ban, Kiana Yasuo ban, Rakan Yumi, let's keep it the same. These 6 champions were permabanned the entire time, and because Fnatic lost, they get to pick the side, and they're picking purple. Akali first pick. G2 switching it up and allowing Fnatic to take Sylas, which is something I said they should be doing from game 1. I think G2 are such a good Akali team. They should have done this from game 1. I'd much rather prefer they first pick Akali, not Sylas. I feel like Fnatic only has one good Sylas player, where G2 has 3 Sylas players. I guess Brox's Sylas is okay. Jankos Olaf. So the pick we haven't seen throughout the whole series, and giving a Gragas and playing against it, this time adapting by picking Olaf. Early picking Thresh feels like Fnatic has no real counter, and when support counter matchups mean a lot, taking this early pick means so much to them. I guess that's why they're not prioritizing Xayah or Kai'Sa. One thing I do have to question is, why not take Xayah or Kai'Sa here and delay the Olaf pick? Since you haven't shown Olaf throughout the whole draft, there's no reason why Fnatic would suddenly ban Olaf unless they feel like if this Olaf pick gets banned, they're in a lot of trouble. Oh yeah, they set up for Syndra. Oh, okay. Actually, that makes sense now. Okay. That's why they took Olaf there. And they also need the AD damage. Olaf is an obvious pick in second phase. I mean, I agree it's an obvious pick list, but the thing that was happening was they were constantly banning Sejuani Skarner, even with Olaf up when they picked Gragas. So in the previous series, they weren't doing it. So even if it's an obvious pick, it just wasn't happening. So I don't get why G2 would suddenly feel like they need to draft Olaf early. I think the only reason was to set up for the Syndra pick. And if they weren't doing Syndra, I think they would have taken Kai'Sa or Xayah here. Kled that's been one of G2's blinds for top lane. GP, one of Bwipo's best. Why is it that most AD carry players don't know how to play versus Syndra? Because they don't get to play versus good Syndra. The only way a team can play versus a top tier Syndra is if they scrim versus G2. Or like their academy, or like it's just impossible to prep versus the Syndra. Who's gonna play Syndra as well as Perks? Who's gonna play Syndra plus support as well as Perks plus Mickey? How are you gonna prep versus that? And also other people mentioning G2 doesn't scrim with Syndra bottom, so it's really hard to practice. Shen into Thresh, okay matchup. If you're gonna pick the Shen, please utilize the split push. I think Shen support just gets like, you lose so much of the strength that gives Shen support when you're not picking it with like a good top lane or a good, like where you have double split pushers. Syndra AD carry finally coming in, Renekton top coming in also. Okay, so I got flamed out of hell for talking about this Ornn pick, so I'll talk about it from what I know, and then I'll give context on everything much as possible. So, personally, before doing extensive research, how I viewed Ornn versus Renekton is Ornn beats Renekton in lane. And it is true to a certain regard, even in high tier play. But here's the problem that comes with it. Good Renektons will make that matchup a lot tighter, and good Renektons will abuse or misusing W a lot tighter too. So the matchup can even up to like a 50-50. But here's the problem. When it's Renekton plus a strong jungle, and it's Ornn plus a jungle, it is much easier for the Renekton side to set up, and much easier for the Renekton side to kill Ornn. And all that shit just doesn't matter when people swap the Ornn, or people swap the Renekton outside of Ornn lane, and it's like Akali versus Ornn. Akali is not a true melee champion. Akali and Gangplank really cheat being a melee champion, and they're not true melee champions. They're just like, they're just not. They have skills that are very short cooldown, that are ranged, and they don't really play like a melee champion. So I think Akali versus Ornn just fucks all the thing like Fnatic picked primarily Ornn for. And also, Shen now is in a really fucked place. Shen loves having split pushers, but Ornn isn't a split pusher, so like, I really hate this pick, and I wish Fnatic took like a split pushing AD top lane instead. I mean, there are some left, right? They could have picked Renekton. I think that would have been fine. Like, picking Renekton here would have been perfectly fine. I'm trying to think what else they could have taken. Because they could have picked Renekton on 4 and save support for 5. AD, any kind of AD split pusher. Jax is banned. Not Irelia. Irelia has counter pick. I think Renekton on 4 would have been fine for G2, especially with GP and Gangplank banned, and they could have utilized their ban a little bit more to make Renekton better. I just think G2 or Fnatic should have set up their draft in a way where they're getting an 80 carry split pusher top lane when they have Sylas and Gragas. Yeah, GP and Jax ban, not GP and Gangplank ban. It just, they could have set up their draft to not end up in this situation. I think draft in 4 and 5 were really bad for Fnatic. It's a huge reason why they lost. Gnar, I'm a little bit scared. Playing versus Olaf Camille. Alright, let's go into the game. I don't know entirety of Fnatic's poll, and the best thing I can think of is Renekton on 4 and switching the bans to make Renekton on 4 a little bit more attractive. But yeah, I just don't like this draft that much. Alright, let's talk about what each draft does. Very strong early game, once again, Akali, Olaf, Renekton, very strong top side and also strong bot side. Get a lead from mid and jungle, be it the Olaf Renekton or Olaf Akali, shove everything down bottom. Win mid and jungle, play with the Syndra and Thresh lead, and just kill bot lane over and over again. That's the core of their draft. For Fnatic, I know the big win condition people talked about was outscaling and late pick or late game. Ornn, when he hits level 14, was it 14 or 13, where he gets masterwork items, become invulnerable. So level 13, get the masterwork items, become a mega tank. Olaf falls off, Renekton falls off. They don't have consistent damage. They don't have an 80 carry, so they don't have consistent damage. Once targets are outside of Syndra burst, it's a lot better. I guess that is a thing. But how much is the game gonna blow up before Ornn hits level 13? That's the thing though, right? If your win condition comes online at 30 minutes in the game, and the enemy team comp is very strong from the start to 15-20 minutes of the game, enemy's so happy. So it's late game versus early game in a series where the game has been decided in the early game. Let me go a little last shadow on you. One team is running a comp where your win condition is on turn 3 and 4, and the other team is running a comp where their win condition is on turn 7 and 8. By the time you get to turn 7 and 8, your win condition doesn't matter because your HP is so low. By the time you get to later on in the game, your outscaling doesn't matter because most of your base has exploded and your map state is in such shitty state. So let's get started. Oof, I like this jungle. Oh my god, what is that technology? Explain it in StarCraft terms and throw in the Dragon Ball Z analogies. Ugh, Akali into Ornn. This is not the matchup that the Ornn signed up for. This is not the matchup the Ornn signed up for. Broxah trying to help. This gank's a little bit unexpected because it's a Predator Gragas. He should be backing after taking the red. Caps did a really good job of not going in for the trade here. He's like right here, Caps is like, oh my god, I'm gonna have enough rage to hit 50. I have more creeps. I can kill him here. I can kill him here. Caps is just like salivating at all inning, but he's also trying to control himself. Don't go in. Don't go in. Don't go in. Broxah can be there. A big thing Nemesis can do here is use Q on the wave and like bait. Look, I don't have a skill. You can come in. You can come in. Oof. Oof. Woof. Don't even need that jungle gank. Just straight winning the 2v2. Oof. Akali solo killing the Ornn. Oof. Mid lane dying to the gank. Early game already over. But don't worry, once the game hits 30 minutes, we'll start winning. Oof. Whoa, 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 whoa. How does that happen? Whoa, Thresh should never get hit by taunt or E. I don't know why, but Mickey's not canceling the Shen taunts. I think Mickey's probably the best mechanical support. Who's that support on FPX? What's his name? Clutch or something? Crisp. I think that guy might be like the only person that I've seen that's like maybe on par with Mickey. But Mickey's usually like so on point with his mechanics. I can't believe he's getting taunted so much. I just expect better. Well, the cleanup crew coming in. Broxah got hurt by turret, burned flash. Yeah, you're gonna be an easy kill also. He said he wanted to bait. I mean, he can still bait and cancel the taunt. It's still a good bait. They're still committing on you. Or in killing the Akali top lane. Like, it's still a good bait. Oh, the prefix. Ak! Zaya getting dope. Oh, what? Okay, that was a little troll. Because they could have just waited for the Thresh here. And like this minion's also in turret range, like Reckless isn't going to be able to clear the wave and everyone's so far away. They could have waited for the Thresh and this would have been fine. What's that taunt flash? Or what's that? Ooh, that outplay from Whippo. If you can flash cancel this, if Wonder flashes to cancel and doesn't get knocked up and then finishes the kill, then it's possible. But I'm not sure if Akali can flash during the E. She should be able to flash. No, she 100% can flash. Because whenever, I forgot, she can 100% flash. I know for a fact she can. Because I saw this in a video before. When TF Blade hit the E on a teleport on a recalling target, and that target recalled, and then he was like getting spinned in. He canceled the Akali like spinning in with the flash, so she can 100% cancel this. I've seen the mechanic happen before. So she flashes this and then kills him and dodges the knock up. Yeah, that's the outplay. She can R, but if she R's, then she doesn't have damage to kill him, so she needs to use the flash. It can't be the R. Yeah, she can R during second part of E also, before you connect. I love what Hillsong does. Whenever they're getting in range, he's just like, Kame, Kameha! It looks like Super Saiyan's like charging up. Flash taunt! Oh man, game's actually getting wild. Wow, G2 actually is being so mistake prone. Failed dive, failed dive, failed roam, 3 mistakes in a row. Game stabilizing really quickly for Fnatic. It doesn't matter how much of a lead you get if you throw it. It's way worse to get a lead and throw it because you balloon the gold. How to explain that? Ballooning the gold. You accelerate the game. When you get a lead and you throw it, you make the game faster and you make the game go into mid and late game a lot faster, which is bad if you are the team getting outscaled. And this is what G2 is doing. They're ballooning the gold by getting the lead and then throwing it. Oh, let me get rid of all the excess. So if they just like normally die, it's better than getting a lead and then dying. Because when you get a lead and then die, like you accelerate the state of the map too much. I guess the best thing is not dying. Or the best thing is keeping your lead and snowballing slowly. Well, not slowly, but snowballing smartly. Ugh. Ugh. Why are they opting into the 2v2 so much? Oh, I feel like Fnatic's getting tilted here. G2 is also getting tilted, but Fnatic's just opting into the 2v2 so much. Like, look at the items. Like, 2 Doran rings, a Thork boots, and a fucking Lost Chapter. In lane, these are crazy strong items. Like, look at your items. You have a double dagger and a Caulfield hammer and a Doran and a fairy charm. Like, why would you opt into fights here? Syndra's just so happy you're willing to fight. Like, Syndra's so happy that, oh my god, these idiots want to fight me. Why? Reckless, why? Hillsong, why? It's Syndra with insane early game items. Just let her be. Just farm. Why? G2, why? Fnatic, why? Why are we dying on top side of the map? We're winning bot lane 2v2. This is game 5, not the time to be trolling. This game getting way too wild, way too quickly. Yeah, Akali also died top, but I think that was also with jungle. Yeah, just stop dying, Forehead. Honestly though, just stop dying, Forehead. Oh, trying to play with the creeps. Let the winning matchups carry your game. Just maintain the right amount of pressure. Usually G2 in game 5 is like ice cold. Oh, Fnatic. Not this. TPing into losing situation. TPing into 3 people. TPing into 4 people. No! No, no, no! What? Oh my god, everyone's just TPing into their graves. Fnatic, they had to recognize before the game, once we get into a certain point, we win. Like, Ornn level 13 is a huge breaking point for us. Ornn level 14, and then Ornn goes to the Xayah, and then he goes like doink doink, and then upgrades Xayah item, is a huge breaking point for us. They should know that. The water bottle slam. Syndra with Luden and Thork boost versus Xayah with not a completed item. Please don't fight bot side. It feels so good for G2 when you do that. Look at like the damage chunks out of Syndra just from the Q. Oh. I think AP carries bot lane is strong, but a huge part of why AP carries bot lane are so successful is teams are not used to it. Teams just don't respect AP carries bot lane. Everyone literally just TPing into their death. That's why G2 plays them so rarely, so people don't develop resistance. I think Griffin is one team that could also do this. I would love to see Griffin be more creative. Lol. Ornn into Olaf. One thing though is the game's getting really messy really quickly. If G2 kept this a lot stable, it would feel very different. But like these kind of stuff, like Perks staying up here, like he's staying up here to get like chunks and stuff, when also Caps is getting the chunk, all he has to do is like see people here. I feel like they can play this a little bit tighter. A little bit. So Whip of Flash looks really weird, so I'll tell you guys why. Why does Whip of Flash here? His flash is to block the lantern. He's trying to body block the lantern, but Perks already had it. Hmm? No, Ornn flashed also. Syndra flashed, but Ornn flashed also. Here. Ornn after... Look, Ornn flashes here. Oh, Ornn... Oh, he flashed before. Oh my god. Am I Pepega? No, you guys are Pepega. Oh shit, he flashed before. Oh my god. Oh shit. Oh shit. 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 Ah shit. Fuck. Do I edit this or do I just keep it in? I think I just keep it in. I keep it in. Delete the bot. Restart game 5 bot review. I thought Whippo saved flash and he was trying to flash on the lantern. Never mind. Like, the game flow is still nice for G2, but they do make mistakes later where it gets so close to Fnatic being able to come back. There's two big throws they do. There's one here, and then there's one up top side. Both are really bad. But Syndra's getting out of control. One thing like that makes AP carries so hard when they get out of control is defensive utilization against AP is much harder. Like versus AD carries, when they get out of control, you just slap a ninja tabby on a tank. You just get like, their armor items are so much more efficient, and then you look at MR items, you're like, Abyssal Mask, Spirit Visage, Banshees. Like, these are not items that are easy to rush, but the armor items are very easy to rush. I mean, the most notably, the first one is Ninja Tabby. It's like, it just negates strong AD carry so much. But when AP carries like Syndra get out of control, you're like, oh man, how do we utilize, like what do we do? Like what does the Gragas build? Does he skip his next item and try to build a Banshees? Does Silas try to skip Ludens, try to build a Banshees? Does Reckless stop finishing Zeal items and delay Infinity Edge and Zeal and start building Hex Drinker? It's just so awkward. Oof. Rank them with Shojins. Oh. This one has to be careful. Oh, that's the top side throw. Let's rewatch this. Oh, did its W get cancelled? Whippo opening with W. Gets the stun later. Whippo is worthless. He used ult already, so orange value drops a lot. Thresh coming in, ER. Perks miss stun. Oof, if he hits the stun here on Syndra. Or not Syndra, excuse me, Silas. If he hits the stun here on Silas. Wonder chunked, Wonder outside of smoke. Can't be in smoke. Use parts of his ult already. Why does Perks get cut out here? Oh, it plays so aggressive on the Q. G2 got really overconfident here, and they wanted to get something out of this where they should have started backing up. They should have kited more, but now Perks is stuck in a really weird spot. Oh, the taunt flash missed, and he still got one-shotted there. And big gold given over to Xayah. Wow, that was such a swing towards Fnatic. Yeek. Whippo hit 13, one more level till he can upgrade AD item. Actually, he can't upgrade. I don't think either of the items are upgradable. He needs to wait for IE. Oh, Cap's killing Nemesis on the side. Hilson died also. These two might get collapsed on. And G2 get Baron. Whipple, go away. You can't steal this. Go away. Reset, go away. You can't do it. You can't. Why? Why is the Gragas the one that... Oh, he wanted to ward. Oh, someone else should have warded. Someone else should have warded. Olaf dead for 22. Burn Baron. They don't have ult, so he can't ult out anyone. Or yeah, Q check. Oh, that feels so bad. Wow. Maybe there's a different dimension where Fnatic just stayed on the Baron the whole time. They're able to get Baron, get into level 13, level 14 power spike very smoothly. Akali no TP. Akali no TP, Olaf dead. Syndra dead also. Wow, it's 5v3 and Akali in base. They actually have this Baron 100%. Wow, in another dimension, Broxa doesn't check this and they finish Baron. Just that one decision. One decision to check in there to place the ward. Just that one decision. Holy shit. Wow, this game was on a nice edge. I'm sure, yes, like there's different variables that can happen where G2 just 3-0s or like they win this game in a really clean manner, but like it's a game of inches. Like that, you guys can see that one small decision, like how much it changes the situation. Doesn't matter, G2 pressuring the other sides. I guess it matters somewhat, especially if they can't get inhib off of this. Wait, how many dragons or how many turrets do they get off of Baron? Sorry, let's count again. Oof. Oh, they only get one turret off this Baron. It's actually pretty bad usage then. Just one turret. That's it. Wow, that's it? Maybe they get this one too. No, there's no wave. Mid wave cleared out. Wow, that's it? Well, game's getting tighter and tighter. Fnatic is on the verge of like being a stronger teamfight comp. They're almost there. IE on Xayah, huge. So their carries, Sylas and Xayah, finished their offensive items. And a little bit more, they finished their defensive items, like a Hex Drinker. Oh man, Hex Drinker versus Akali Syndra on the Xayah. Oh my god. I think that's like the real breaking point. Reckless, 3 offensive items finished. Essence Reaver, upgraded Zeal item, Infinity Edge, and then Hex Drinker. And then that's where Fnatic is get fucked G2. We outscaled you officially. Yeah, plus Bwipo upgrading IE and then getting Hex Drinker. That's the really big breaking point for Fnatic. Then Reckless no longer can get one shot by Syndra or the Akali. Gets his Omega items. Oh, game's getting there. Game's slowly getting there. They should funnel gold on the Xayah. Let her get her items. IE Hex Drinker. She has to IE. Upgrade IE. You should have saved the upgrade. IE got upgraded. Nice. Hex Drink or Maw, then Zaya's unkillable. Hex Drink or Maw, then she no longer has to worry about the Syndra the same way. And she doesn't have to worry about Akali the same way. Oh my god. Boom. Double knock up, taunt flash. Oh my god. Wait, how does G2 win this? Oh my god, does Reckless build another offensive item on top of this? Reset, Baron up in 10 seconds. Okay, he's building MR. Going to correct items. Wow, this game's so close. Fnatic is like 5 minutes away from like being in like 80%, 70% victory. Overforcing, Olaf starting to be useless. Renekton starting to be useless. Yanko's soloing Inferno. Ooh, gets spotted out here. Oh, they take Inferno while he's dead in GA. Killed the Olaf. What? Maybe there's better spots to TP. Ugh. This TP's awkward. Probably should have done it to lane. Because he wants to be close to the Xayah. Oh, that was such a good state for them. They got Inferno. Nemesis TP is on the way. She's on the same side as Xayah. They can fight together. Like, just look at Carlos and Grabs. Like, they know this game is tight also. They know this is like, can swing any moment. Oof. Inhibitor broken open, but it's mid inhib. Mid inhib is the least valuable one. Oh shit, you guys can't see the, what is it? Other people cam because my cam is blocking it. But trust me, Carlos and Ocelot look terrified. Or Carlos and Grabs looks terrified. Oof. Wait! You went QSS? You went QSS and not Hex Drink or Maw? Is QSS better than Maw here? Should never get Renekton stunned. The only real stun is Syndra. If you get Thresh hooked as the Xayah, I don't know what to tell you. What do you do versus Akali? Syndra items are ahead enough where Maw or Hex Drinker won't matter. Maybe that's the case. You QSS Syndra ults you, you die anyways. Ugh. Mercurial Scimitar plus PD, so you don't get defensive items until you have 6 items complete. Are you kidding me? Mercurial PD might be better than Maul, but that's not the discussion. The discussion is what's the best defensive item for him to buy right now. It doesn't matter what the better 6 item is. He needs to have the best 5 item possible. So the argument against Hex Drinker is he would get one shot anyways, and he can't save himself. Don't think about 6 items. You get MR either way from Skirmisher. No, it doesn't matter. Like, ask yourself this question: do you have more effective HP against Syndra with Mercurial or with Maul? You have way more effective HP with Maul than Mercurial. Like, yes, you get MR either way, but the MR is so little with Mercurial. Oh, this is actually a really interesting But you are dead either way if that's your argument. No, that's not my argument. My argument is you can potentially survive with Maul, where you can still get one shot with QSS. This is actually a really interesting branching off point. Was Hex Drinker better here than QSS? Was Hex Drinker better here than QSS? Or was QSS better than Hex Drinker? I guess that's the other way. The effective HP does not matter unless it gets him out of the Syndra burst point. If the item cannot get him out of the Syndra burst point, then it's a different discussion. Well, let's watch the game and I'll keep thinking about this point. If he can't get out of the Syndra burst point with the Hex Drinker into Maul eventually, wait, what the fuck? How did Nemesis die? Yeah, maybe we should be opening fights with Blippa ult, not Silas walking into them. Stopwatch. If Reckless hasn't used Stopwatch at all this game, then it's definitely worth a buy right now. I think the item choice gets really difficult because Syndra got so ahead. If Syndra wasn't super ahead, I think Maul is 100% correct here. Maul would protect you versus both Akali and Syndra. Because Syndra is so ahead and you can't get enough effective HP, then maybe I lean towards QSS also. I think most situation Maul is correct, but in this game Syndra might be way too ahead. If Syndra's too ahead here, I actually like QSS Stopwatch. I think that's the best option. Because Fnatic just needs to win a fight. They just really need to win a fight. But this is way too big of a problem. Syndra one-shotting people. Stopwatch, too broken. Wow, Perks definitely Chad moded this. Oof. GG. G fucking G. This was actually a great series. G2 played really well. Game 5 was really close. I wish Fnatic just thought about their draft a little bit better and utilized Blippo. I just think they keep putting Blippo in such awkward spots. Like... Oh, poor Reckless. Oh, I feel for Reckless. The thing about like professional league and thing about competitive is like people are like, why does it matter? Reckless still goes to Worlds. Why does it matter? Reckless still makes so much money, but you pretty much like give up all your livelihood and give up everything just for the championship, especially when you're close. And to not get it, it's like all or nothing. You feel like you wasted time, you feel like you wasted effort, you feel like you're not good enough, and you tie your self-worth to how good you are in the game. So it's crushing to lose when you're so invested. Like when you invest so much and you don't get anything, you feel crushed. Like in other jobs, when you invest a lot, like there is at least like you get some things back, but in like league, it's like feast or famine. It's either everything or nothing. Like, yes, if Reckless takes a step back, he has an amazing life, he's extremely popular, but like when you're a player of that caliber, you tie your self-worth to whether you win or not. Well, congrats to G2. This was an amazing finals, and I hope you guys enjoyed the VOD review. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And remember, I'm not crazy, I'm just Loco. Bye guys.